merit badge.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Amy, did you do Girl Scouts?
No.
Of course not.
No.
I did 2 years of Cub Scouts.
Did you now?
Lost at the Pinewood Derby.
Yeah.
And another kid here's my lasting, before we go to break, my lasting memory of the Pinewood Derby is that one kid in my class, his car lost and his dad objected to the results and started walking all over the track. And I just vividly remember one of the parents yelling, "Get off the track, Max."
All right, I know we got to go to break, but I got a quick Pinewood Derby story.
Oh, no.
Johnny's first Pinewood Derby, Georgiana and I went on a little romantic getaway to Washington, D.C. And so my father-in-law took Johnny to the Cub Scout meeting to race his Pinewood Derby car. So we go out to dinner. We're in D.C., very romantic. And we get back to the room there, the hotel. And Georgiana says, "Hey, I'm going to call Dad real quick and check in on how the car went." And so she calls him up and she said, "How'd it go, Dad?" And he says, "Oh, Georgiana, it was terrible." He said, his car didn't make it to the finish line. They tried to run it 4 times and they didn't make it to the finish line. So that was the end of my romantic evening.
Oh, no.
So the next year we hired somebody to build the car.
Oh.
That was just it. When I did the Pinewood Derby, like, you knew that some of these dads had been at McDonnell Douglas in the air tunnel, getting their kids' cars ready. And then my father and I, who don't even have like a hammer in the house, are like, slot A and the slot B, let's roll it. It was not good.
The wheel fell off my car.
Yeah,
It
Really?
literally fell. Yeah, it fell off. It was sad.
You built it?
it happens.
Yeah, I screwed up and I made the nail hole too big and the wheel fell off.
That'll
Anyway.
happen every time.
All right, so it's Michael Kelly, survivalist John Hancock,
Yes.
Amy Marks Kors, and Chris Ranji. We'll talk about the new circuit attorney. Who is it? When we come back on KMOX.
2 ways to listen to KMOX in your car. 98.7 in the city, 11:20 a.m. further out. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Laurie Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
Join us Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for Your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey. Have you noticed that for sale signs in your neighborhood have been up for longer than normal? Why? Well, they probably don't have my friend and trusted realtor Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty's name on them, because agent selection matters. And that's why I recommend you call Gloria Liu. I've been telling you about Gloria for years now, and you should call Gloria before you list your home. Gloria has the buyers. More than 2,400 exclusive buyers in her database looking for a home in your neighborhood. Gloria sells twice as fast and for 5% more money on average when compared to other agents. With Gloria, you sell faster and for more money. And Gloria will guarantee upfront in writing that she'll sell your home at your price and your time frame, or she will buy your home herself. Call Gloria Liu today at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Over 30 years ago, it was that can-do spirit which helped the founder of Reinhold Flooring start the business, installing Reinhold quality carpet and beautiful flooring himself. Now, Reinhold Flooring is still family-owned and operated and winning St. Louis Magazine's best flooring store 2 years in a row. With Reinhold Flooring, it's not about the sale, it's about the amazing floor to perfectly match your house and your life. Customer-driven since day one. Visit ReinholdFlooring.com. With so many ideas you can do it with a can-do crew at Reinhold Flooring. ReinholdFlooring.com.
Energy prices are skyrocketing. Regardless of what you believe is the reason for the skyrocketing prices, it doesn't matter. What does matter, it's crushing us. It's taking money off of all of our tables for food, clothing, entertainment. Life is tough. I'm not looking for anything for free, but this is crazy stuff. Now, that being said, do not overspend on so-called high efficient, energy efficient, or whatever the terminology, anything efficient. Nothing we make, nothing that we have to offer will combat these insane prices. So if you're in the market and your bills are just extremely high because they're failing, call me. It's one easy number. It's in Missouri and Illinois. There's only one number. Missouri and Illinois, it's 314-293-2600. Bart Inman, 314-293-2600, or bartinman.com.
KMOX, the 2023 Large Market Radio Station of the Year, recognized by the Missouri Broadcasters Association. KMOX, we were built for this.
Governor Parsons' 11 o'clock press conference is coming up, expected to start in about 40 minutes, and we will carry it live here on KMOX as we await the announcements of the new circuit attorney who will replace Kim Gardner here in St. Louis. Amy Marks, Kors, and Chris Ranji with Hancock and Kelly because it's Friday. Guys, who's it going to be?
Well, I've heard it narrowed down to a couple of three people. I've heard the name Judge Noble, Gabe Gore. There was another judge that was in the mix. I mean, the governor's kept this as a pretty well-kept, tight secret. But I got to tell you, it was like 18 people applied for it, went through the process with the governor. And a lot of them are taking some trouble, particularly in St. Louis liberal Twitter world. But I appreciate that all of these people are putting their names up there. I don't think any of these folks who are trying to go in there are doing it for any other reason than they want to right this ship or try to right a ship, because I'm not sure that there's a candidate that the governor could appoint that we could know is going to win this election in
Are
a
you
year and a half.
surprised that many people applied?
No, I think a lot of people care about St. Louis. Could all the people that are around this table, and this has been a slow motion train wreck for the better part of 4 years. And I think people want to try to stop the bleeding. And, you open up the paper every night. We're losing population. We have a circuit attorney who's not doing stuff. We have people carrying guns. And there are good, strong people out there who want to help turn the tide. And so I'm not surprised we saw that.
But it's not a enviable position to walk into. I mean, you've got a decimated office there that's short on attorneys. They're going to have to start by hiring attorneys. Maybe some will come back if they were there prior and resigned. But it's not a job that's going to be simple, and it's not a problem that's going to be solved quickly. It's going to take time, months of time probably, to get that place functioning again. And doing a good job of prosecuting criminals. So I think it's going to be Gabe Gore, who is a partner at the law firm of Dowd Bennett. Very, very talented attorney in town. I don't know that it's him, but I wouldn't be surprised if it were.
So let's say it is Gabe Gore or someone similar, another very talented attorney. Do you see that person running for re-election, or I guess for election in a year and a half?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. That ought to be one of the first questions that they are asked at the news conference. I presume that the choice will be there with Governor Parson. And, from my perspective, guys, I think if you're going to rebuild an office, appointing somebody that is only going to be there for a year is a bit of a hindrance to that, because you're going to hire lawyers and you're going to ask them to come on board and get with the program here. It would be nice, I think, if the person that gets appointed does run for election. It could be a tough race potentially.
But I think the situation is more dire and unpredictable than that. I think it's dire in the sense that the governor realizes that he's got essentially a lawless chaos going on in the economic driver of the state. And so he's going to pick somebody who can do the job. And as somebody who does politics in the St. Louis region, I've watched this Kim Gardner thing. It's been mind-blowing to me that the voters have continued to support her. All the evidence I was out there that she was incompetent, wasn't doing her job, but we're voting on this identity politics. I'm telling you, as somebody who does this for a living, I couldn't point to a candidate and say, this person can win in a year and a half. How is Governor, sitting down in Jefferson City going to know what's going to happen in the city of St. Louis? That's why I think he's hopefully picking the person who can just stand this office up and get it started.
What about the idea? And I think what you're saying, Michael, is along the lines of a guest we had a few days ago. I can't recall who it was, who suggested that maybe it's better to not have somebody come in and then within a few months have to start campaigning, because there's no time for campaigning. What do you think about that?
Well, this is my business, campaigning, and I'm here to tell you, I don't care about the campaign a year and a half from now. I care about them getting this office stood up. And as somebody who does this on a regular basis, I do polling weekly in city of St. Louis. I'm here to tell you, I couldn't identify somebody for the governor right now of the people that I heard who was appointed that I can guarantee you this guy's going to be able to win an election.
Do you think, though, that there is some still power that comes with incumbency? You got the name identification. You're doing the job. I would think that an appointee who was standing for election would have a better chance of
Sure.
winning that office, perhaps, than somebody coming in from the cold running against a progressive.
And anybody who comes in here is going to have on the good hat, right? I mean, just the fact that they're going to show up to court is going to put them in a good light. And I think that they're going to get a lot of grace from people like, hey, they're cleaning up 6 years of dereliction. And I think that could be positive and potentially helpful for them if they chose to run. But John, we talked about this morning. We're down to about 12% of the people in the city of St. Louis participating in elections.
Yep.
88% of the registered voters aren't participating, guys. And so what you're seeing is a lot of this progressive thought process, which is typically around identity politics, whether it be race, gender, or some other thing, or a larger social issue that's going to be solved. These conversations of local elected officials aren't about local issues. And so we're seeing an outsized representation of this progressive thought process showing up in campaigns. I'm hopeful and good. I'm glad they're there. These are discussions that need to happen, whether it be reparations or, dealing with crime at a whatever. But at the same time, some of these aren't pertinent to St. Louis city governments. Well, we're going to try to fix the reparations problem. We can't pick up the trash. But we're picking candidates based on these large ideas, and it is causing 88% of the people in the city of St. Louis to not participate in the elections. That's the real problem.
Michael, I want to get to some other stuff after the break, but I have one more question as it pertains to this, and I'll ask you specifically. Since you do polling, I have a question about her. And when we come back, we'll get to that. We've got the news coming up, the governor's press conference at 11 o'clock, Hancock and Kelly with Amy and Chris on KMOX.
You can't blame one person, you can't blame one group, you can't blame one generation. But it sucks that St. Louis has become marginalized and a laughingstock and feared. Like, we're really cool. We have so many things that are just amazing. We have a great heritage here. We have a great history, not just sports. I'm proud to be on KMOX, proud to be from St. Louis. We can move forward and move up. We just all have to remember who we are. And who we are is pretty damn cool.
The Dave Glover Show, weekdays at 1 on KMOX.
The time is 10:28, and the time check brought to you by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Well, what are you doing this afternoon? How about head on over to St. Charles Nissan? It's part of the St. Charles Automotive Group. You know where they are. They're in St. Peters, located a quarter mile east of Mid Rivers Mall Drive, just off Highway 70. And before you head over there, you can also visit stcharlesnissan.com, knowing that the price you see online is the price that you'll get at St. Charles Nissan. You don't have to worry about them marking up the prices or not having inventory. The St. Charles Automotive Group, St. Charles Nissan, they have cars in stock. And we are nearing the end of May. It's hard to believe Memorial Day just around the corner. Right now, St. Charles Nissan is offering 0% APR financing on select Nissan models. This is through May 31st. Again, the price you see online is what you pay, and you have 0% APR financing on select Nissan models through May 31st, so you don't want to wait. And if you've been considering an electric vehicle, you need to check out the new 2023 Ariya electric crossover SUV. You can show up, you can go take it for a test drive, and if you love it, sign the papers and drive off the lot in less than 60 minutes. St. Charles Nissan, stcharlesnissan.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Lombardo Homes is happy to introduce new communities, new home sites, and even a plethora of new lifestyle-friendly floor plans. Check out our new Parkside series of homes, the same luxury and livability for which Lombardo Homes is known, but with all new floor plans, to have new home sites at the streets of Calendonia, and to introduce our newest community in Wentzville, the Boulevard at Wilmer. Experience the Lombardo Homes difference, where customization is our expertise and an elevated customer experience is our goal. For more information, visit lombardohomes.com.
At 10:30, we have 78 degrees, sunny skies downtown at the Arch. Good morning. I'm Stuart McMillan. Here's what's happening. In 30 minutes, an interim St. Louis Circuit Attorney will be announced by Governor Mike Parson and that person will serve the remainder of Kim Gardner's term following her resignation. 18 candidates applied. COVID took a lot from us, as CBS's Jim Krasula reports.
Nearly 340 million life years were lost in the first 2 years of the COVID-19 pandemic, as millions of people died prematurely. That's according to a new report from the World Health Organization. It also saw a growing number of deaths from heart disease, cancer, and diabetes, all unrelated to the pandemic.
President Biden endorses plans to train Ukrainian pilots on U.S.-made F-16 fighter jets. Biden told the leaders at the G7 summit this morning in Japan that decisions on when, how many, and who will provide the fourth-generation fighter jets to Ukraine will be made in the coming months while the training is underway. Looking at the roadway stalled vehicle, this is I-170 past 141. The left lane is closed there. And a little while ago, we had an issue of stalled vehicle in 270 North at Manchester. The right lane was closed in that area. And your weather for today. We expect a high around 80 degrees. We're near 78 right now. Low of 53 degrees for tonight. Tomorrow, high of 73. Nice, plenty of sunshine. A little cooler than average for late May. A high of 79 for Sunday. Sunny skies there to partly cloudy skies expected for Sunday. Right now, we have 78 in St. Peter's, 80 degrees in Florissant, 78 downtown at the Arch with a sunny sky. I'm Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
Brought to you by Visit Missouri. What makes for a great vacation? Depends on who you ask. No matter how you like to get away, Missouri is filled with beautiful destinations and incredible experiences for you to explore. Discover the possibilities at visitmo.com.
This is Flea for This Little Light, a podcast about falling in love with music. I started a nonprofit music school about 20 years ago called the Silver Lake Conservatory of Music. The reason that I started doing this podcast was music education. I'll be speaking with Rick Rubin, Thundercat, Stuart Copeland, Margot Price, Corey Henry, Cynthia Erivo, Sheila E., and Patty Smith.
Please listen and follow This Little Light, a presentation of Cadence 13 on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey guys, Glover here, and I see clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Malhotra, and you can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Broadcasting from the Underlaw Entry Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
It's time for kickoff at The Pitch Athletic Club and Tavern at St. Louis Union Station. The Pitch is the place for soccer fans with food you'll cheer for and drinks you'll celebrate with. Located in America's first soccer capital of St. Louis and in sight of City Park, The Pitch is open 7 days a week and open for early matches on the weekends. Bring your team for some match day fun and play hard. Welcome to The Pitch, soccer heaven in St. Louis. Visit our website at thepitch-stl.com.
Hi, I'm Paul Goldschmidt.
Hi, I'm Miles Michaelis.
I'm Adam Wainwright, and you're listening to the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
It's the Cards and Dodgers tonight. Ameren Total Access 620. First pitch 7:15.
KMOX is Cardinals Radio.
We are the voice of the Cardinals, all right, but we are the voice of St. Louis. And the voice of St. Louis today
Is crabby.
You are
Oh,
crabby.
sorry.
You're crabby. 26 minutes away from a press conference. At least that's when the scheduled press conference is supposed to happen. Governor Mike Parson will introduce the new circuit attorney for the city of St. Louis. We have our very own Kevin Killeen on site. He's at the courthouse waiting for it to happen. And then we'll hear the press conference.
Yep.
We're going to bring that to you however long it takes. Hancock and Kelly are in with us. One more thing on the circuit attorney before we move on to other
right.
stuff. Michael, you were talking about polling and
Right.
polling in the city of St. Louis. There are people who are concerned that even after all this, they're going to announce a new attorney today. When this term is over, that at some point, Gardner will try to run again. My contention is she won't. I don't think that's really anything to worry about. I just don't think she's going to do it again. But if she does, would she win again? What do you think polling suggests that even after all of this, could she still win again?
Yes, she could. Now, who knows what's going to happen over the next year and a half as we redefine, and there's these investigations on where the money's being spent. They increased the budget in her office by 50%. She kept cutting more money, but she was losing office. So when we have these audits that come through, who knows? But I'm telling you, as of polling several weeks ago, of course she could win. This is the city of St. Louis, guys. We are not voting on outcomes. We are voting on ideas.
If the turnout were better than what you were talking about last segment, would it maybe be a different result?
Potentially. I mean, if the turnout was better, and that's the one thing. If more than 12%, if we were to get into the 18%, think of how ridiculous that is.
Right.
That we're going to call 18% turnout. But if we were to get to 18 to 30% turnout in the city of St. Louis, I can promise you the idea, thought process, vote in the city of St. Louis, this is what you're getting. And this is what's going to continue to come as long as the 88% of the people who seem to have some more regular thought processes sit it out.
I still don't think she's going to run.
I don't think she will
She's
either.
going to be a nurse.
Could
She's
you
gonna be
imagine
out
if she
nursing
comes
out
in
there.
to give you your
That's what
propofol
I
or
said.
something? Sky would be like, nope, I'm out of here.
That's exactly
See
what
you
I
later.
said.
I mean, I don't get it.
Comes in with a mask. You're like, are you Kim Gardner? Pull that down. Yeah.
Well, definitely no. Okay, so continuing the theme of incompetence and inefficiency and pileups, the city itself, we kept talking about all of this NFL money. We kept talking about the COVID relief money. Where is that money and how is it being used? Because the Post-Dispatch had a long story on this, that contractors aren't being paid. We know that cops are at times, because so many cop cars are broken down, even though we're short on cops and they're not getting paid, they're riding 3 police officers to a car. There aren't enough 911 dispatchers, so emergency calls aren't getting answered. Trash is being piled up. Potholes are destroying cars. What in the where's the money?
Well, that's the question that we all have. Now, the mayor's office, when she came in, she wanted to talk about transparency. In a lot of instances, she's become very transparent. You can go see a dashboard that shows where they're spending the ARPA and other monies that come. Not so transparent yesterday at the crime summit, though, when we didn't have the media there. I mean, nor the police, by the way. My biggest concern is we are going to have a debt ceiling compromise. Okay. St. Louis is sitting on $1 billion. We've not spent it, or at least if they've spent it, they're not disclosing it and not being transparent. And I imagine that the Republicans are going to have a clawback for any of that money that's just sitting in accounts out there that we handed out. I bet that's going to be a part of the compromise. And because of our delay, we're going to wind up losing that money. That's a theory that I have. People in the city of St. Louis are about to face a water rate increase. It's coming. I'm giving you news before you even know it. It's going to be introduced at the Board of Aldermen. We're going to raise rates significantly over the next several years. We've got a huge infrastructure thing. You all witnessed it on Highway 40 with the water main break.
Mm-hmm.
We have 100-year-old pipes that need to be replaced, probably $500 million that needs to be spent. That seems to me where we ought to be spending the infrastructure money. Where is the infrastructure money? Where is any of this money? Amy, you have the best question. They do have a portal out there. You can look at it. They're not spending the money, and they're not telling us where it's being spent.
Why wouldn't they consider privatizing the water system here? I mean, it's a city-owned, city-run facility, and I have to believe private industry could run that more efficiently.
Well, and I've not necessarily always been on the side of privatization, but John, I want to refresh your memory of what we faced when we talked about the airport. Privatization is as bad as a word on the Democratic side as regulation is on the Republican side. But the reality is they don't have enough people to pave the roads. You can't tell me that there aren't road paving contractors out here who could be union, who could pay a solid wage, who could take the $20 million and get these roads paved automatically. But we are electing people on thought processes and ideas and not outcomes. And so privatization is a deadly word in this progressive area. And that's ultimately what we're facing. I mean, and it's going to take people participating to do it. I'm with you. I'm for privatization of the trash, if that's what we've got to do. Fixing the roads in the city of St. Louis because we've been waiting. And it's not in the past, we've been waiting because we had no revenue. They got more money than they know what to do with. They want to hand out $500 to anybody who's got a pulse in this city, but we can't pave the roads.
Michael, I love hearing you fired up.
Well, it's frustrating because I am a Democrat. I believe that government should play a role in helping those who can't help themselves. But we are making decisions in the city of St. Louis. And by the way, it's starting to creep in St. Louis County too, based on broad, huge social issues. Some of them that have existed since the time of humanity. Solving poverty. Jesus tried to do that. Now, the city of St. Louis, who can't pave the roads, is going to fix poverty? Give me a break. This is crazy. I
Well, I don't
want
think
us to
cities
get
can
back
do that.
because I want to
Cities can't
stay
do that.
here. We read an article in the paper that we lost another 200,000 people. And for those of you sitting in O'Fallon, Missouri, and O'Fallon,
KMOX's
Illinois,
Megan Lynch. So when you think
for those of you who are sitting in O'Fallon, Illinois, or in Fallon, Missouri, and think that's not your problem, no, we are dying from the core, and you're losing population as well. We used to be a world city, guys. We're not anymore.
I
You
don't-
can't get there from here.
I don't think Jesus' primary mission was solving poverty, but that's just me.
Well, I get that you're being funny, but you get my larger point.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the people who can't pave the roads and going to fix can't do that stuff are
Right.
going to solve the world's biggest issues. We
They're not.
can't even figure out how to staff people to pull over guys walking around with AR-15s.
Yeah.
There
So
you
it's
have it.
frustrating. And as a Democrat, that's considered, this is blasphemous that I talk this way. No, I want this to happen so that we can go and do a lot of the things that my progressive friends care about. But you can't be making the case constantly to voters that we're going to solve all these larger problems when you're not doing your job.
Do the little stuff first.
Yes.
Exhibit competence first, and then you can tackle the larger issues.
Well,
But
government has a role, and government's role is to administer a city's budget, to take care of the infrastructure needs of the city. I mean, those things aren't being done, and it has real consequence. You're not seeing businesses leaping over themselves to relocate to St. Louis. You're having people that come here for either business purposes or to see a Cardinal game, who are seeing the city streets dead, nothing going on. And if people aren't coming, then what restaurants and other services are going to be provided for them? And it's a vicious circle. And what is it going to take for us to come out of this? I'm afraid it's going to take something pretty catastrophic.
The other thing I'm encouraged about the governor's involvement and the legislature, even though it was narrow and I don't like what they were focused on, there is starting a realization by the state of Missouri that we have a crisis in the St. Louis area, and for that matter, potentially in Kansas City. And in the past, we've always thought from a Jefferson City standpoint, forget St. Louis, they get everything. Well, the reality is we're about 40% of the revenue that these people get. So Mike Parson and Dean Plocker and Caleb Rowden, all these Republicans are starting to realize that, wow, this ship's going down. And guess what? Soon, maybe we're going to find out that the people who are locally here can't handle it, and we go the way of Detroit. This is going to be the state of Missouri's problem. And so it's time for us to start thinking more globally and more regionally. Better together was such a bad word, and it had some flaws. But I'm telling you, we wouldn't be in the place that we're in today if we had realistic governments in the city of St. Louis or in the St. Louis region that actually weren't causing us to pay 3 and 4 times what our competitors are paying in Indianapolis. And we had competency on a scale that didn't require each municipality to go out and do this stuff. What's happening in the city of St. Louis impacts Clayton and St. Charles as much as anyone.
Yeah. No, I mean, amen to all of that. And again, people in the entire St. Louis region eventually will have to realize that the zoo being free isn't enough to keep the city going. Michael Calhoun sent me a tweet from an account from Downtown STL Biz, Brian. He's got a few thousand followers. He says he's an ardent supporter of St. Louis, Billiken fan, all of that. He tweeted that he's part of a Facebook group for people who like to visit ballparks in other cities. Here's a sampling of comments from people who visited St. Louis this week. We have a long road ahead of us. Now, here is one of the comments. I just visited Busch this week, too. Number 4 for me. I was happy that there was restaurants around the ballpark, but my goodness, that city was dead and so sad. Happy to have checked number 4 off the list, but I'll never visit that city again and wouldn't recommend it to anyone unless they were there to just visit for sports. And then a reply was, I want to add that we left a day early and skipped out on last night's game because the city sucked so bad. Another person responded, I was here for work, heading back home to Nashville now. I would never recommend anyone come to this city voluntarily.
I mean, that none of that surprises me because it's exactly what I have heard for 15 years.
Yeah. Sad.
And the frustrating thing, guys, is during the legislative session, we had those people acting a fool down there in Jefferson City, going after 6 kids and wanting to ban books, etc. And we were outraged over it. In fact, most of our regional elected officials have set up committees to deal with, transgender issues, LGBT community issues, blah, blah, blah. we also had 2 weekends of the worst killings and people walking around with guns. We didn't see commissions set up for that. We didn't see tweets. We didn't see press conferences. Heck, we had our police department had a press conference the other day with 3 people I'd never even heard of. No mayor, no public safety director, and no chief. What are we up to? We're outraged about what's going on in Jefferson City. Rome is burning.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we get off to the fun stuff now, huh?
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Michael.
Can you go into a weekend any better than that?
Sorry. I mean, look, but we all got to
Michael,
care because we all want to stay here.
You're 100% right. I think we've all made, if not the exact same arguments, similar arguments, at least with the same feeling from the heart. We all want this city to do well. And we want the region to do well. And the region's not going to do well unless St. Louis City does.
The region's dying.
Well, guys, enjoy your weekend. We'll talk next Friday.
See ya.
I'll enjoy my time in the city this weekend.
Let's hang out.
Hancock and Kelly with us. We'll talk to you again next Friday at 10 o'clock. But Amy Marks, Kors, and I will carry on. We've got the press conference with the governor, Mike Parson, supposed to start at 11 o'clock. We will carry it live for you. When we come back, though, did you see this on KMOX?
When do you need to see an ophthalmologist? Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. Now, that's a good question. If your vision is blurry, you notice dark spots in the middle of your field of vision, you're seeing flashes or new floaters, if you have difficulty seeing distances, if there's a sharp pain in one eye along with vision changes, or if you have trouble driving because of glare, these are all good reasons to make your appointment with the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates, 314-966-5000 and yourEyeDoc.com. And if your eyes are itchy and scratchy, that might be more than allergies. The doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Andrew Royer, and Robert Brusati are also leaders in dry eye diagnosis and treatment. I've been a patient of theirs for about 25 years. In Sullivan, St. Peter's, and their main headquarters, 270 in Manchester, 314-966-5000 and yourEyeDoc.com.
I'm listening daily. Here's Demi Lovato on how she stays positive.
The forms of self-care that I'm engaging in during this painful but necessary moment in history, I'm meditating a lot, whether it's like in between breaks on set or it's starting my day. Meditation has become key to me. Also just taking care of myself in other ways, making sure I get rest, things like that.
For more details, go to imlistening.org.
Sponsored by Compass Health Network. We're here for you.
A lot of new enrollments, huh? Braylon, Brayden.
Monique's daycare is crawling with new arrivals.
Hey, sweetie, are you hungry?
She needs more early childhood educators.
Did your sock slip off again?
And a nap.
Hey there, little guy. Okay. Shh. Whoa.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. What, still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
RENNER, forward and back. Hey, it's the Cardinal Cowboy. Excited to share with you about Renner Garage Door. Spells the same thing, forward and backward. RENNER. Formerly the St. Louis Door Company, Renner's been selling, servicing, and installing garage doors in St. Louis since 1966. So if you need to repair or replace your garage door or opener, Renner does that. So call Renner or check out their special deals at RennerDoorSTL.com. Renner, the garage door company that does. Giddy up!
This is Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates. For the best eye doctors, you need to see the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. YourEyeDoc.com, 314-966-5000.
The Social Security Trust Fund could run out of money in just 10 years. Does this change when you should file for your benefits? Don't miss Your Retirement Professors, Saturday afternoon at 1 on St. Louis's News Radio. KMOX.
Furnish hope right here in St. Louis. Donate your unneeded furniture and household goods to Home Sweet Home. Visit www.homesweethomestl.org to learn more.
Dude, I'm here for the show. What show?
St. Louis, this is your show.
The show.
The show on KMOX.
Did you see that thing? I can't believe it. Something is obviously wrong.
This is a joke, right?
Oh my God. Are you freaking kidding me? No way.
You gotta be kidding me. Don't feel bad. There's no way you could have known that.
Now, did you see this with Chris and Amy on the show?
Amy,
Yeah.
I think I'm in favor of the death penalty now.
Oh my goodness, Ron. See, is it my persuasive arguments? Because
No.
actually, I thought you persuaded me.
No.
So I'm against the death penalty, and now you're for it.
Yeah, I am for it because
Wow.
somebody is stealing plants out of the Wilson Park garden in Granite City, Illinois.
What?
And I think that person should be prosecuted to the fullest. No, I don't believe in the death penalty. That was a joke. But there is a guy, some jerk, who has gone into a gem of a park. Wilson Park in Granite City is beautiful. It's a great park. I grew up going to it. There's a nice little garden right in the like a botanical garden.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of it, where everybody goes to take their prom pictures. It's a Granite City tradition. And some scumbag is showing up in the middle of the night and has chosen specific plants, has brought pots. He's wearing gardening gloves. He's on camera doing all of this. And he's stealing all the plants for God knows what. Whatever it is, stop stealing stuff, man. I am so upset about this.
He is literally, cat burglars in movies. How
Yeah.
they've got the cat burglar outfit and they're always stealing art. This is the cat burglar of gardens.
Yes.
He is in garden gloves. He's
Yes.
got his own pots. He's very prepared. I mean, he's on camera, no mask covering his face.
Who's this guy think he is?
What is he doing?
I don't know. So the speculation is that either they could be selling it,
Yeah.
which I don't know. Maybe they have their own business and they're selling from
Are
their
these
business.
very, very rare, expensive plants that
I
are in this
can't
Granite City Park?
Maybe. I don't know. I
Like-
can't imagine they are, but it's a really nice park and it's a nice garden.
That's awful.
But can you imagine? Maybe somebody's walking through a nursery one day over the next week and they look down and go, that plant looks familiar. This person is stealing.
Wow.
How dare this guy?
What a jerk.
You know what? We should go to the park,
Mhm.
Wilson Park, and we should do a show from there.
Oh my gosh, that's a great
Beautiful.
idea.
Right in the middle of the park.
Let's do it.
Where I used to work as a child.
Ranj, if he didn't have this career, would be a
I
park
think I'd work in a
guy.
park district.
Yeah.
I worked on the baseball field crew. I umpired at that park.
Forest Park Forever has a whole army of workers that keep that park absolutely pristine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gorgeous. Every
Yeah.
tulip, every flower, every blade of grass,
Yeah.
every shrubbery.
And when I was in high school, I was the Army at Wilson Park.
You could be part of the shrubbery army and help keep the shrubbery in shape.
I need a shrubbery. All right.
A nice one, but not too expensive. Okay.
You have not seen that.
I've seen that part. Let's
How
buy
is
a
that
shrubbery.
of all people?
I think I've seen the whole movie, just not sequentially.
Well,
All right.
it's a good one.
I don't know
I'm
if you saw
proud of
this, Ron. You probably didn't. Maybe you did. You're a night owl. But the Florida Panthers and the Carolina Hurricanes, it was a big one.
Brent Burns in his own zone. Logan can't perch it. Scores! Matthew Tkachuk puts it to bed. And Florida has won the opening game of the Eastern Conference Final.
And a quick exit by Tkachuk. He's pointing to the exit. He's had enough. Unbelievable. The goaltending at both ends kept this game going. It looked like it was going to go to
The
5.
Carolina Hurricanes and the Florida Panthers went to 4 overtimes before St. Louis and Matthew Tkachuk scored for the Florida Panthers. That's why the broadcaster said a quick exit. He's had enough. Yeah, 7 periods of hockey. And oh, by the way, 12 seconds left in that 4th overtime. They almost went to another intermission and 5th overtime. That is so much hockey. So much hockey that the PA announcer, when they announced that they'd be going to the fourth overtime at the end of the third overtime and said, we'll now have a 20-minute intermission, he said, I am so sorry. Fans were like slumped over in their seats. But 12 seconds, I kind of, not going to lie, kind of wish they had gone to a fifth overtime. Since we're not involved, I kind of like the chaos of it.
Oh, yeah, me too. I missed all of it. I watched the Lakers and Nuggets, and then I watched Love and Death with Elizabeth Olsen, who's wonderful. That's what I did last night.
Is Love and Death a show or a movie?
Yeah, so they're doing another version of the Candy Montgomery story.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know this one...
Yeah, well, I thought they just had a series called Candy
with
or something.
Jessica Biel.
Yeah.
And then this one is better because Elizabeth Olsen is in it and she's fantastic. So it's ongoing right now. But that, for people who don't know that story, that's wild.
Mm-hmm.
That's just an absolutely wild story.
Way to hijack my 4 overtime story.
Yeah. Well, you said, hey, look, that's how much interest I had in the hockey game.
It should have been 5 overtimes. I mean, Matthew Tkachuk scored with 12 seconds left in the 4th overtime. Can you imagine? It's just so much hockey. I love hockey. It's a lot of hockey.
Elizabeth Olsen is so good.
John Wayne was tall.
No. Remember when Seth Rogen was doing it was an award show, and this was years ago, and she came on the scene and was talking to, there's a third Olsen? Where have you been hiding her? She's the good one. All right. We should have a press conference, Governor Parson, coming up soon right here on KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Zero Res. There's a lot to celebrate this month with graduations, the end of the school year, barbecues, warm weather. You guys know that Zero Res carpet cleaners don't leave behind any of the dirt-attracting soaps and chemicals that other carpet cleaners use. Their friendly carpet cleaning technicians always walk me through their entire carpet cleaning process and make sure that I'm completely satisfied with my cleaning before they leave. It really is an amazing experience. Check out the 4,600 rave reviews online, a 4.9 Google rating. Schedule today and get 3 rooms of carpet, Zero Resified, starting at just $129, which is a $40 savings. Plus, take $75 off your air duct cleaning. Make sure you mention me or KMOX when you book at ZeroResSTL.com or call 314-474-2020. Refresh, restore, and protect your investment. Now's the best time to book Zero Res for your business or office cleaning to get you ready to provide your employees and patrons for the summer of 2023.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress Company, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927.
Take a vacation from inflation during our Memorial Day savings event going on now until May 30th.
Shop in-stock Smith Brothers sectionals, Flex Steel collections, and Amish-made furniture designs you won't find at any other store in the St. Louis area. And right now, we're offering 2019 prices on featured items, saving you up to $1,500.
At Miller Furniture, we have over $4 million of inventory, all on sale, with more than 100 sofa groups available for immediate delivery.
Handmade in Springfield, Illinois, our Chatham and Wells line is the best kept secret in the mattress business. Amazing comfort, no interest financing, plus you get the adjustable base at 50% off.
Shop now through Memorial Day weekend and take an inflation vacation with store-wide savings and 2019 prices on featured items at any of our 3 locations in Belleville, Lake St. Louis, or Ellisville on Manchester Road.
At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Listen now to PNC C-Speak, the language of executives. William Caniano, NGA West executive of the $2 billion headquarters expansion, takes us inside the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. He says there is a naturally collaborative nature in St. Louis, and that has led to the project's success. C-Speak shares the stories and innovative approaches of successful business leaders to spark ideas and growth in your business. Listen today at KMOX.com/PNC C-Speak. PNC C-Speak, the language of executives.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. We'll always be here for you. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
For all station contest rules, go to KMOX.com/rules.
KMOX is covering breaking news.
Let's go to Missouri Governor Mike Parson.
Leadership and law and order in the Circuit Attorney's office. And we set out to find someone
who could do just that. Crime is something that our administration takes seriously, no matter where it is committed. Crime in our rural areas in Missouri is a problem. Crime in our suburban areas is a problem. Crime in urban areas is a problem. Our economies and our communities are connected, and crime anywhere affects Missourians everywhere. We know there is a need to do better in this office. We stand outside today. For far too long, dysfunction has plagued this office and the local criminal justice system. This is an opportunity to correct course, an opportunity to demand better and do better by the people of St. Louis. This judicial system relies on effective relationship between the courts, law enforcement, and the prosecutor's office. Weakness in one weakens them all. Today is a new day that allows us to recommit ourselves to a stronger judicial system. When Ms. Gardner initially announced her resignation, we immediately began conversations with the City of St. Louis leaders. And here beside me today, you can see we have a united front as we enter this new day for the City of St. Louis. We greatly appreciate the meetings we've had with Mayor Jones, Chief of Police Tracy, Sheriff Betts, Colonel Olson, Director Karsten, Judge Hogan, U.S. Attorney, Attorney General, and faith and community leaders. We've also had conversations with St. Louis area representatives and senators, regional county leaders and prosecutors and others. All provided their perspective and their constituents' perspectives on what is needed from the new circuit attorney. We also appreciate our conversations with local judges who have committed to working with the new circuit attorney to achieve a smooth transition. From every meeting, we learned something new and carried your needs with us through this process. Upon the office immediate vacancy, we took action to ensure stability in the office. And I would like to personally thank my general counsel, Evan Rodriguez, for taking on this dual role while continuing to serve the governor's office and the people of St. Louis, as well as the Attorney General's office for assisting with the transition until the new circuit attorney will be in place. We were also back here the very next day to talk to the staff, to hear their experiences and what they need and expected in a new leader. As we all know, there is a backlog of cases leaving violent criminals on the streets and families and victims without justice. Criminal referrals from law enforcement have gone unanswered for far too long, allowing criminals to commit crime and no consequences time and time again. We cannot continue, and we must stop. We must return stability and seriousness of the rule of law to the office and to the city. It is a big task and a big ask for one person to take this challenge on. Luckily, we had 18 individuals come forward with a willingness to step up and lead, and we appreciate all of them. We interviewed several qualified candidates who we know could serve this city and this state with honor, integrity, and respect for Missouri citizens. When interviewing candidates, we didn't care if they were Democrats, Republicans, or independents. Politics did not play a role. We didn't care if they were going to run for re-election or not. Our focus was solely on figuring out who in their heart holds what is best for the city. Who wants to see the city grow, prosper, and succeed? Who will be a dedicated public servant to fight crime in St. Louis? And who loves the city and wants what is best for our citizens and our visitors? To best serve the citizens of this city, a commitment to returning to law and order to our streets and faith in our criminal justice system is an absolute must. As many of you know, historic office vacancies and appointments to fill them have become somewhat common with our administration. But whether it's one of 5 statewide offices, Supreme Court judges, other high-profile appointments, or now the circuit attorney of the largest metropolitan area in our state, we've approached each responsibility the same: to do the best by the people we serve. After going through this interview process and having productive conversations with the leaders and standing here with us today, we are proud to announce that we have selected Mr. Gabe Gore as the next City of St. Louis Circuit Attorney. We believe Mr. Gore is a qualified and experienced leader our great city of St. Louis needs for this new day and this historical opportunity for change. He brings an abundance of legal experience as a prosecutor, managerial leadership, and common sense beliefs in law and order that would be critical to the effective restructure of this office. Mr. Gore is a partner at his law firm, Dowd Bennett, helping manage day-to-day operation. He has served as an assistant U.S. attorney overseeing federal prosecutions and is well respected in the St. Louis community. He is a devoted husband and father, and it is a pleasure to meet his wife, Nicole, who is also with us here today. Nicole, thank you for being here. He lives here, he works here, and he wants to do right by the people who raise their families here in St. Louis. We know he'll work hard every day to fight crime, earn the people's respect, achieve success, and restore trust in the circuit attorney's office. Mr. Gore has a tall task ahead of him, but we are confident he is the right man at the right time to do the right by the people of St. Louis. Please again, help me welcome Mr. Gabe Gore as he furthers his introductions himself to the people of St. Louis and continues his outline, his vision for the Circuit Attorney's Office. Gabe.
You're listening to live coverage on KMOX of the appointment of a new St. Louis Circuit Attorney, Dowd Bennett partner, Gabriel Gore.
Thank you all for being here today. It's obviously a pleasure and a huge honor for me to be here today. Governor Parson, I want to thank you for your kind introductory remarks, and I also want to thank you for giving me this historic opportunity to serve the city I love. And in addition, I'd like to thank you for your approach to the selection process, which really put the city of St. Louis first. Thank you. As I accept this appointment, my sole focus is to begin the process of building a circuit attorney's office that is high performing and can provide the level of justice and public safety that the citizens of St. Louis deserve. The city of St. Louis is where me and my wife have chosen to live and where we've raised our children. And the same level of public safety that we enjoyed raising our family here is what we seek for all St. Louis citizens. As I approach this task, I will start with a focus on 2 priorities. 1, I will focus on building a staff of attorneys and professionals who can work here in the Circuit Attorney's Office and have fulfilling careers doing this important work to serve the community they live in. Secondly, I am going to really focus on building the collaborative relationships that are integral to the success of this office. I'm going to work to build collaborative relationships with the community. I'm going to work to build collaborative relationships with Governor Parson and Mayor Jones and all of the agencies that are represented here today by the leaders that are here with us. The Circuit Attorney's Office plays an essential role in the criminal justice process. But the Circuit Attorney's Office can only be successful with the cooperation and collaboration of everyone that's represented here today. Working together, I am confident that we can build a prosecutor's office here that is one of the highest performing in the country. We can have a staff of attorneys and professionals that are absolutely committed to the pursuit of excellence. Because that's what it's going to take to get the job done. I believe that those things are very obtainable, and that's my goal as I accept this appointment today. Thank you.
You've been listening to the new interim circuit attorney for the city of St. Louis, Gabriel Gore, at his introduction by Governor Parson outside of the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's office in downtown St. Louis, inside of the courthouse. KMOX does have a reporter there. Let's take a listen and see if they're taking questions.
From voters in St. Louis, will you run for election in 2024?
Well, first of all, let me say, I think congratulations are definitely in order, because what I have today with accepting this appointment is an opportunity to serve. That's an honor and responsibility that I accept and embrace and appreciate. So thank you for the congratulations. In terms of whether or not I'm going to run for the office, that's not something I'm focused on right now. My sole focus right now is starting the work to build a high-performing circuit attorney's office. That is essential work. I can't be distracted from that. And so that's where my focus is going to be. The question of whether I'll run or not is something I'll consider.
Mr. Gore, the last circuit attorney had a strained relationship with the police department. What will you do to repair that?
As I mentioned, that's certainly one of my highest priorities, is to build collaborative relationships, not only with the police department, but with all of the agencies and governments and the people of St. Louis. So I'm going to work hard at that. I view that as something that I need to take leadership on. It's going to be my highest priority, and it's going to be a lot of meetings and a lot of discussions, and that's how we're going to get it done.
You've been listening to live coverage from inside of the courthouse downtown, outside of the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's office. There's a new boss for that office, just appointed by the governor, but with Mayor Tashara Jones, Chief Robert Tracy, and other leaders at his side. It's Dowd Bennett, partner, and former Assistant U.S. Attorney Gabriel Gore, who is taking over the Circuit Attorney's office in the wake of Kim Gardner's resignation and abrupt departure. The Dow from Stifel is down 123 points to 33,412. We've got a two-vehicle crash on 55 North past Imperial, Maine. The right lane is closed. Also a two-vehicle crash on 70 West at the Missouri River. The right lane closed.
KMOX AccuWeather turning out mostly cloudy this afternoon. Some showers and a thunderstorm around into early evening. Higher 82 early and then dropping, and much chillier tonight as it clears out down to low 50s. Cool but nice with sunshine, low 70s tomorrow. Then Nice near 80, warmer on Sunday. I'm Accu with the meteorologist Dean DeBoer and the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Sponsored by the Flat Roof Company. Quality workmanship at a competitive price. If you have leaks in your commercial or industrial flat roof, there is only one company to call, the Flat Roof Company, because they have a great reputation and provide excellent service at great prices. Call the Flat Roof Company at 314-995-2700. Flat roofs are all they do. It's 80 at the moment downtown at the Arch. Stay tuned for continuing coverage of the latest from the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's Office. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by the Cardinals. Cardinal tickets for 2023 are on sale now and start at just $6. Info at cardinals.com.
It's Chris and Amy on the show. Let's go ahead and go back to the press conference. It is ongoing. Questions being asked of the new city circuit attorney, Gabe Gore.
Something that I am going to look at and try to make a decision about the best way to take advantage of the tremendous outpouring of support.
Right here, microphone. Sir.
On the last day of Kim Gardner's day as circuit attorney, she put a motion to vacate the conviction of Mr. Christopher Dunn. Is that a case that you will look into? And also to Parson, once you guys look into it, the state of Missouri has no physical evidence on him. A judge in Kansas City wanted to let him go. Is that something that you guys will look into? And will he get a pardon once you guys find out the state of Missouri has no evidence on him?
My understanding is that that's something that squarely falls within the jurisdiction of the circuit attorney. So it's something I'm going to definitely look at, and obviously a matter that I'm going to treat very seriously and pursue in what I believe is the correct way. So absolutely something we will look at.
Any timeline?
Right here.
Mr. Gore, the Attorney General's office has had a full day to look at what you're up against. I'm curious, they were probably even surprised by some of the things left behind. Did you see anything? Did they tell you anything that you think needs to be addressed immediately?
Those discussions haven't even begun. Like I said, I learned yesterday. You're learning today, so I've got a lot of work to do, and I'm eager to have those conversations and get to work, but none of that has transpired so far.
All right, Mr. Gore, we're going to take one more for you.
Kelly.
Mr. Gore?
Right here, Christy.
Mr. Gore, you're coming from a very politically connected, high-powered law firm. How can the public be assured that you're going to put the interests of the public first ahead of your clients?
So if you look at what I've done in my career, throughout my entire career, I've sought out opportunities to serve the community. You can look at the things that I've done in service of the community, and you won't find any connection to me pursuing anything other than things that I thought were important for the community. That's what I'm doing here. That is my only goal and focus in pursuing this. And I think that my work will speak for itself.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gore. Governor?
Okay.
Governor Parson will take questions now. Jason?
Let me, before I get to you, let me just echo a few things that were asked, just to kind of touch base, because they were all good questions. But the reality of it is, this process has taken we've had to speed this whole process up, and unfortunately for Mr. Gore, he has not even had a chance to evaluate anything to be able to do that. That's why we are putting everything in resources we can, why all these agencies have offered us to basically hold the fort down until he can get his feet on the ground. I think that's important to know. To be asking about case files or anything, neither one of us has looked at those cases yet. But I mean, that time is going to take place. And I think a good question you asked, because one of the things that I had to consider too is, yes, he is definitely with a well-respected, high-profile law firm. But I'm going to assure you this. I've been through this process many times as governor, probably more times than I've wanted to be right honest about it. To give up that and to be able to do this says a lot for the character of somebody that he's put in the city of St. Louis before a high-profile law firm and money. And I think that's one of the characteristics I had the opportunity to sit with him and his wife, especially with Mr. Gore, and understand the importance of that. So I want to just say that on the behalf. I think he's the right guy at the right time. And I think it's not going to be about a law firm. I think it's going to be about the circuit attorney's office. So I believe that's going to, Jason.
My understanding is that Mr. Gore is a Democrat. I'd asked you before about whether you were going to cross party lines on this. I'd like to know why you decided to make that decision. And did it have to do with the political reality if that Mr. Gore wants to run again? If you wanted an appointee that wanted to run again, it had to be Democrat.
Well, you're telling me for the first time something I didn't know. I didn't know he was a Democrat. I've never had that conversation. I've never asked that. I didn't ask that of any of the candidates. What is political affiliates? I'm telling you, it doesn't matter to me. That wasn't what the choice was based on. Whether he ran again is not what this appointment was based on. Look, we need to bring stability to St. Louis City. There's no question about it. Every person standing up here with me would tell you that. I truly believe. And you'll have an opportunity to ask them when it comes. That's the main goal right now. This is not about how you work a re-election campaign first day on. His priorities are going to have to be the circuit attorney's office, and that's what I expect. And I believe that's exactly what he's going to do. We'll let the political process work out, but who somebody's aligned with, that's not important in this. It's about serving the public.
All right, Mark, go ahead, Mark, and then we'll go to the microphone.
Governor, in this whole experiment of justice, the accused have rights too. I wonder if you have a message to many of the defendants who have been languishing in jail for 5-6 years. And can you tell the people of Missouri that they actually have the right to a speedy trial, or are there constitutional?
I don't think there's any question after meeting with the judges, talking about the dockets of what we're doing. We want to get that process to where people are not sitting in jail, where they're not being incarcerated, wondering what's going to happen. But have people months and months just be sitting incarcerated because the judicial system don't do their job is unacceptable. And we got to change the way we do that. And I think this is the beginning of that change. I said, look, you got a new chief. You're going to have a new circuit attorney. I think everybody stand up here again is going to try to make this a better process. Two things happen. We don't want people sitting in there if they don't belong in there. We want that process. We want them to go through the conviction process or to be released, whichever that is going to be. But I think we all that's in criminal justice system, we want just that. We want justice.
All right, sir, at the microphone.
You really done a great, amazing job of bringing the community together, I believe, on this issue. I'd like to find out what you think you will ask of the community now to come together to support Mr. Gore. And once Mr. Gore gets into office, what he can do to bring our community together also. And any thoughts you have on that issue?
Yeah, you know,
appreciate what you've done.
yeah, good questions. I would say the same thing when I became governor of the state of Missouri. I had to learn St. Louis. I had to come up here and be in areas that I wasn't really familiar with. I had to go to Martin Luther King Boulevard areas. I had to meet with people like Better Family Life. I had to go to Grill for Glory and try to understand the best I can what life's like for somebody else that doesn't live there. And I think talking to Gabe, he understands that. Part of being a circuit attorney is not about just going to court every day and trying cases. It's building a relationship with a community that trusts you to do right, even sometimes when people won't like him doing what's right. But as long as you keep doing right and you're consistent with it, I believe that people will accept that. But it's a learning process.
Mr. Gore, do you have any comment on that?
Governor, did Mr. Gore sell you on a specific vision? Did he give you any sort of specific ways that he can affect the change that you all hope comes to this office?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think his resume speaks for itself. And you'll all get an opportunity to go through that, I'm sure. But I think what he's done in his career, what he stands for, and I'm going to go back to what I said in my remarks. The people that made the final cut, the people that were at the last, is because they care about this city. They love this city, and they want to do a good job. And that's exactly what I expect out of him. So those qualities of who he was as a person, what his belief is in the city of St. Louis, what his resume, many things went into that factor because, frankly, I didn't know him very well. But I feel like the short times I've been with him and I've had to meet him and his wife, I'm pretty proud of this selection, and I think the city of St. Louis will be too. So I'm proud of his service to his community. And I think above all, I'm going to go back to what I said again. Here's a person that could do a lot of things if he wanted to do a lot of things. He could chase the almighty dollar if he wanted to chase the almighty dollar. He decided to give up a high-profile law firm to work for the people of St. Louis. And at the end of the day, whether it's the mayor, whether it's the governor, whether it's the chief, whether it's the attorney general, I don't care about the titles. I care about people being public servants. And I believe that's exactly what he'll be, as a public servant at the end of the day. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
That was Governor Mike Parson. The press conference just coming to a close. He has selected Gabe Gore as the new city circuit attorney who replaces Kim Gardner after, not an especially good tenure here in the city of St. Louis. And I know the question was asked, multiple questions were asked about party affiliation, and was that in anything you took into account? The governor said he did not even ask what the affiliation of Gabe Gore was, and said he left a high-profile law firm to work for the city of St. Louis, and says it basically speaks volumes for the new circuit attorney. But I guess, Amy, we'll see what it means, right? We'll see if there's any real effect, and how positive an effect it is, if any, for the city.
Yeah, no, that is Gabe Gore is who Michael Kelly, that was his guest this morning when we talked about it, just that, who could possibly take this position, who would Governor Parson appoint. Dowd Bennett, partner for the Clayton law firm, former federal prosecutor, worked on the Waco investigation. So I'm hopeful.
I am too. And he also said, the question was asked before we go to break here, will he run when the term is up in 2024? And he basically said he has not decided that yet, that
but
he has a job ahead of him.
He would consider it.
He
did
would
not
consider
rule it out.
Yep, that's exactly right. Amy Marks Kors and Chris Ranji, it's time to take a break from this kind of stuff. Time to take a break from the attorney stuff. And we are going to give you the birds. Some Cardinals talk with Mike Claiborne coming up after the news on KMOX.
Now, Carol's favorite moment, sponsored by Chesterfield Fence and Deck.
One loss really shaped me, but when Nan Wyatt was killed, I changed my bio a week later, my professional bio. So the first line of my bio now reads, she is first and foremost a wife and mother. That line was changed because of Nan Wyatt's death and Nan Wyatt's funeral. So that's one of my greatest memories, because it changed top five, if I have to do top five, and I do, because it changed the way that I thought of myself and the way I thought of this job.
This has been Carol's favorite moment, sponsored by Chesterfield Fence and Deck. The sign you have the very best. ChesterfieldFence.com.
As I prepare to leave KMOX after 28 years, I think about all the relationships I formed. One of those is with Tom and Sherry Thiel. They're the owners of Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Their craftsmen built our bronze aluminum fence nearly 10 years ago, still framing our backyard beautifully. And although I am retiring, you'll still hear my voice on KMOX telling you why Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the company to call to transform your backyard with a patio, deck, or pergola. I'm not going anywhere, and neither are they. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best.
Jules on Hampton in St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches on site. Jules on Hampton is a premier jeweler with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jules on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches. Bring your collectibles and clocks, sports memorabilia, and figurines too. Jules on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa. Call them at 314-752-5000. That's 314-752-5000. So if you need some extra cash, looking for that one-of-a-kind piece, make Jules on Hampton your first stop. Jules on Hampton in St. Louis Hills.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey for my friend and trusted realtor, Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, with some exciting updates for serious home sellers. Gloria Liu understands that every seller situation is different. For some sellers, a 24-hour cash offer solution is a great option to consider. Gloria's 24-hour cash offer solution is for sellers who want no risk, no open houses, don't want to make costly repairs, and want to pick their own closing date. If that sounds like you, call Gloria Liu for a no-obligation 24-hour cash offer. You will have exclusive access to her group of cash buyers who bid against each other in what Gloria calls her cash offer bid box, giving you the best cash offer. These are cash buyers in waiting willing to pay 100% or more of market value. Call Gloria Liu at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888. GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Is your bank, brokerage, or your insurance company telling you to buy an annuity? They may have limited access to the best rates available. You need solutions, not someone pitching you a specific product. Call for your complimentary retirement and income book at 844-513-SAFE. That's 844-513-7233. And also join me, Ben Coons, for the Retirement and Income Radio Show, heard here every Saturday at 3 p.m. on KMOX Radio.
At 11:30, some clouds and 81 degrees downtown at the Arch. Gabriel Gore is the new St. Louis Circuit Attorney, announced by Governor Mike Parson minutes ago. KMOX's Kevin Killeen asked Gore.
Mr. Gore, the last circuit attorney had a strained relationship with the police department. What will you do to repair that?
As I mentioned, that's certainly one of my highest priorities, is to build collaborative relationships, not only with the police department, but with all of the agencies and governments and the people of St. Louis. So I'm going to work hard at that. I view that as something that I need to take leadership on. It's going to be my highest priority, and it's going to be a lot of meetings and a lot of discussions. And that's how we're going to get it done.
St. Louis County Executive Sam Page tweeted, "Congratulations to Gabe Gore. He is a good guy who will do a great job." The Pentagon is now saying the amount of military aid it's given Ukraine is worth much less than previously thought. CBS News Pentagon correspondent Cammie McCormick.
The Defense Department admits it overvalued the equipment by at least $3 billion. It was an accounting error, which now means there's more money to fund Ukraine's defense without asking Congress for additional money. Lawmakers are increasingly pressing the Pentagon to show accountability for the amount of money it spent on weapons to Ukraine.
There's some debris on 364 going west at Bryan Road. The right lane is closed. A two-vehicle crash on 55 north at Imperial, Maine. The right lane is closed. And some road work on 6440 going west before Kings Highway. The right lane closed. Weather sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. This afternoon cloudy with some showers and a thunderstorm into the early evening. High 82 early. And temperatures drop. It turns out clear later tonight. The low 53 for tomorrow's high 73. At the moment, some clouds, 81 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers and important decisions should not be based solely on advertising.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Laurie Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
Join us Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for Your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Broadcasting from the Underlying Tree Lawyers. GetJim.com studios.
KMOX. Over 30 years ago, it was that can-do spirit which helped the founder of Reinhold Flooring start the business, installing Reinhold quality carpet and beautiful flooring himself. Now, Reinhold Flooring is still family-owned and operated and winning St. Louis Magazine's Best Flooring Store 2 years in a row. With Reinhold Flooring, it's not about the sale, it's about the amazing floor to perfectly match your house and your life. Customer-driven since day one. Visit ReinholdFlooring.com. With so many ideas you can do it with a can-do crew at Reinhold Flooring. ReinholdFlooring.com.
There are over 10,000 reasons why steel is not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. Find tools for the job site or your own backyard at over 10,000 authorized local steel dealers. Find yours at SteelUSA.com. Lowe's and the Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
What defines us is who we are as a collective group and how we progress and gain momentum through the season.
The Coach's Corner with St. Louis City coach Bradley Carnell. Mondays at 9:35 on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Hi, I'm Paul Goldschmidt.
I'm Cardinals outfielder Lars Nootbaar.
I'm Woodson Contreras. I'm Paul DeYoung.
Now, Chris and Amy give you the birds.
I'm Jordan Hicks, and you're listening to the show on KMOX.
I think that would be remember, there's a high fly ball to left field, towards the corner, towards the track, and it's over the wall. A home run for Yepes. 1 ball, 1 strike on Gorman, who now has a 9-game hitting streak with his base hit in the second inning, and he hits the ball high to right center field. That's back to the track, and that's gone. Back-to-back big flies in the third inning. Yepes and Gorman. Gorman's 11th The 3-2 pitch is hit high and deep to left field. That ball is gone. Back to back to back big flies in the bottom of the third inning.
How about that night last night? It was a 9-8 ball game for a minute. Cardinals just had the lead, and then they exploded. 16-8 was the final. They beat the Dodgers, a very, very good team. So things are starting to look up for the Cardinals. By the way, here on the show, we're going to be talking to St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell. He'll be joining us in the next segment. And we're also going to be talking to the lead singer of the Gin Blossoms. At 12:15, Robin Wilson will be joining us.
Mr. Blossom.
Mr. Blossom. But right now, we are talking to Mr. Mike Claiborne. He is on the Cardinals broadcast. You'll hear him tonight. You'll see him live at Lowe's as well. What's going on, Claibs?
Well, it's all good considering how things ended last night. It was a bizarre game. You know, you think about the Dodgers got up early, 2-0 after the first inning. Cardinals come back and hang 6. And then they hang 3 more, and it's 9-2. You think, okay, it's all good. The next thing you know, Freddie Freeman hits a grand slam. They score another run, and it's 9-8. And now the game is back on the line. And the Cardinals looked around and said, hey, let's tack on a few more. Obviously we set a record last night with 7 home runs, but it's safe to say the Cardinals are swinging the bat extremely well right now.
Well, this is kind of what we expected. I mean, 16 runs is that's not usual. But you did expect this to be.
But when you think about what they've done over the last week or so, think about how many crooked numbers they put up against Chicago and Boston and now the Dodgers, and what they would do against Milwaukee. I mean, they've been swinging the bat extremely well for the last couple of weeks. Nolan Arenado's had a lot to do with that. He's just on fire. And now here comes Nolan Gorman, who faced a left-handed pitcher last night. He hasn't seen a lot of them, but he was able to cash him in too. So, you have these kind of runs during the season, and you wish you could bottle them up because you're going to need them again, because they'll hit a dead streak at some point. But you know what? This team is pretty resilient in how they handle things.
Well, the hamburger phone has been pretty busy as of late. Have you how do you feel about the hamburger phone, Mike?
You know what? We have enough gimmicks in the dugout. If you've seen some of these teams when a guy hits a home run, it's the silly season. But you know what? If you're winning, everybody thinks it's cool.
Yeah.
I think we have too many props though in the game as we speak. But they want everybody to have fun. So I guess if they're having fun, it's supposed to be contagious. I haven't caught that bug yet.
Oh, just let them have fun, Claibs. You too, Amy.
Hey, listen,
This
they
is
can
a
do
game.
anything they want as long as they win. I don't care.
That's right.
That's exactly right. But didn't the hamburger phone start like 9-10 games ago?
I got to tell you something. I was not familiar with it. I saw Kisner with it last night, and again, there's too many props for me to keep up with between the props and the dances and the conga lines and everything else that they have. I just try and worry about what they do between the lines at this point. If they want to have that kind of fun and they're winning, then so be it.
So you had the 3 homers in the third. You heard those highlights there, Ricky on the call, but a great night by Wilson Contreras. Couple of home runs for him, and he drove in 6. And it was my favorite moment of the night, watching him after that second home run, getting the curtain call and fired up, yelling at the crowd, and getting his due.
He's having more fun than the law should allow right now. Everything is working for him. He had to watch some games and try and retool his repertoire as far as catching is concerned. And that turned out pretty good, especially when you look at what happened on Monday night with he and Jack Flaherty both rising to the occasion at the same time. And then, offensively, he's been pretty consistent throughout the season. And now he's in a groove. And when you look up and down the batting order, there isn't an easy out. And that couldn't be said all the time last year. And I know when they put this team together in the offseason, I think this is what they were kind of hoping for. And it can even be better as some of these young players start to mature more. But overall, it's a good time to be a Cardinal fan, especially if you like offense.
Yeah, plenty of offense by them. Contreras hitting 256, on base at 343. So you want to see a little bit better from him. And I think as the season goes on, you will get some improvement. The start from Wainwright last night, I think we still are kind of not exactly sure what to expect from him this season, but 5 2/3, couple of earned, that's the kind of thing you'll take every night.
Yes, and I have to be honest with you. After that first inning, I'm saying to myself, "Uh-oh, here we go."
Right.
It didn't go well, giving up the 2 runs, and it could have been worse. So you have to look at it along that line. But I think we have to resolve ourselves in knowing that Adam Wainwright's going to give you at least 5 innings. He'll use 95, 100 pitches if necessary, and then you better make sure your bullpen is rested because there's going to be at least 3, if not 4 guys that are going to pick up the slack for the remainder of the game. So you have to take that into account when you pencil him as a starter. But he's going to give you effort, and if you have a little effort and a little skill to go with it, and then throw in some luck, it could be a good night for you.
Claibs, you've got Live at Lowe's tonight, and an old friend visiting you this evening.
Mike Matheny is going to join us. He was in broadcast last night with Ricky and John. And, I've always thought the world of Mike Matheny, not just as a baseball person, but as a person, period. I mean, just one of the classiest people I've ever been around. And I'm just so happy that he's back celebrating the 2013 National League Championship team. There'll be some players in town for that. But we're going to have Mike on, and I can promise you, as well as Ricky and I both know Mike, we will have some fun tonight. We invite everybody to come over to the Bullock. It's the second level of the Lowe's Hotel right across the street from the ballpark. And I can promise you we will have a good time, and we'd love for you to be part of it.
I hope there are shenanigans tonight, Mike.
Well, there could be.
Okay.
We'll do our best to try and incite some shenanigans if that's a
So
term we can use.
You want to just incite the shenanigans.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the shenaniganer.
No,
he
you
does.
know what? I'm gonna strike the match and walk away.
That's what he does.
Yep.
He's a big
I'm
grenade
gonna-
guy.
I'm going to say, hey, does
We've already
anybody
talked about
smell
that.
smoke? Does anybody smell smoke?
All right.
And then I'll be on the escalator getting out of there at that point. Hey, congratulations to Gabe Gore. I've known Gabe for a long time, and one of the neat things about that position, the finalists were all more than qualified. I wish we had more people that were qualified to run for office as we had for this particular position. So Gabe, he'll do a good job, and all the other candidates, it's good to see that they wanted to be civically involved in our community, and hopefully we can get this thing turned off in the right direction.
Thank you, Claibs. We'll talk again next week.
Will we see you guys tonight?
Possibly. You never know.
He's
I'm
so
a big
he's
last
so
minute guy.
flaky.
I'm a
Claibs-
last minute guy.
Yeah.
Well, we know that, Amy. I mean,
Yeah.
that's been documented for multiple years now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's no surprise. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
All right. You will see. Thanks, Mike.
Oh my God.
All right. Have a great weekend. Take care.
Mike
Thank
Claiborne, baseball tonight at Busch Stadium, and he will be live at Lowe's after the ball
Mhm.
game. Mike Matheny will be a part of that. And Gabe Gore is the new circuit attorney for the city of St. Louis. The announcement coming 42 minutes ago by the governor, Mike Parson. We will talk to the St. Louis County prosecutor, Wesley Bell, next on KMOX.
Well, the Ophthalmology Associates, you hear us all at KMOX talking about the doctors, Bertie, Malhotra, Brusati, and Royer. And that's because they are the best. They treat more doctors than any other practice, more than 250 doctors. And that's because they are experts in the diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye. Now, I've been dealing with computer vision syndrome, or CVS. It's a relatively recently recognized eye problem, which makes sense since we haven't been staring at screens for decades and decades, a rather new phenomenon. Well, your eyes need to be continually washed by tears so that they stay lubricated and working properly. This is done when we change our field of focus. We use the muscles around the eye to have the tears wash the eye surface. When you're focused on one spot, like a flat computer screen, your iPhone or an iPad, it prevents the eye cleansing and can cause computer vision syndrome, dry, scratchy eyes. I was dealing with that. Dr. Bertie was able to diagnose that and give me some tips for not having that bother my eye vision, the comfort of my eyes. And it really does improve the quality of life when you're not blinking, scratching, rubbing your eyes. Call the doctors today. 314-966-5000, 314-966-5000, yourEyeDoc.com.
Did you know the IRS is a super creditor? Hi, I'm Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. The IRS is the only creditor that can create a bill for you without your permission, then drop the hammer and aggressively collect it by wiping out your bank account, seizing your assets, and levying your wages. No other creditor can do that, and this can all happen without a court approval. If you owe back taxes, you need to be prepared to face the super creditor. Don't just sit back and take it. Fight back. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, we know how to use the laws to your advantage and go toe-to-toe with the IRS. Our office is located right here in St. Louis. Contact the Lance Drury Law Firm today for a free consultation with me, or visit us at lancedrurylaw.com or call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120 to get started.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
How's your mental health? I'm listening with Luke Combs.
I am somebody who has struggled with anxiety a lot. A couple ways or tools, I guess you would say, to maintain my mental health is making myself aware to the things that I know I'm prone to. Information is key for things like that, and knowing what you're dealing with and how they operate. Being aware of the way your mind works in certain situations has been the most important thing for me.
More at imlistening.org.
Sponsored by Compass Health Network. Inspire hope. Promote wellness.
Prepare an emergency kit, sign up for local alerts, and make a family communications plan. Get started today at ready.gov/plan. A public service message brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns: a free home inspection from Foundation Recovery Systems. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at foundationrecoverysystems.com. License number C136080.
If you're looking for a new lawnmower, there's no better time than your local Farm and Home Supplies Cut the Tax Weekend on Saturday and Sunday, May 20th and 21st. That's right, you'll pay no sales tax on a wide range of mowers, from push mowers, riding mowers, and zero turn all included. Trusted brand names like Cub Cadet, Husqvarna, Toro, and a lot more. You'll even pay no tax on the trendy mini Jeeps, side-by-side utility vehicles, and mini bikes too. That's Cut the Tax at your local Farm and Home Supply this weekend. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
1 in 4 people surveyed by Bankrate.com say they're literally losing sleep because of worries that they may have not saved enough to retire. If you're ready to get serious about planning for your financial future, you could start by listening to the All Financial Hour with host Steve All of the All Financial Group.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different. We're not here to sell you anything. If you want assistance, we can also help you at that point.
Tune in Saturday mornings at 10 right here on KMOX.
Hi, Kent Newbold for Newbold Toyota. Your car is worth more than ever before, so why trust the Damages for your servicing? Come see the factory-trained experts at Newbold Toyota in O'Fallon, Illinois, or newboldtoyota.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. When planning your summer vacation, pick a destination close to where you live to limit your use of fuel. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Amy Mark scores. Fabulous. Chris Ranji. Unbelievable. On the show.
Amy Marks Kors and Chris Ranji on KMOX. It's been an eventful day. The press conference from Governor Mike Parson introducing Gabe Gore, a partner at Dowd Bennett, is now the circuit attorney for the city of St. Louis and the lead prosecutor for the county. St. Louis County is joining us now on KMOX. Wesley Bell, good morning, and thank you for being with us.
My pleasure. Interesting day, huh?
It really is. So what are your thoughts?
I believe that, and I had heard that Gabe Gore was one of the finalists, and I don't know him very well, but I know him through reputation. I know him through several acquaintances, and based on his reputation, I think they've made a good choice. I think that he'll bring a professionalism to the job, and we certainly, no matter who is put in that position, stand ready to help them. And so, we're excited that that this part of the process is over, and we can get to the business of getting that office stabilized.
You're very familiar with the situation that office is in. What is Gabe Gore facing today, this very first day, and the first steps he'll be taking?
A lot. As you know, our office got an opportunity to kind of get our hands in and see what was going on, because we knew this day was coming, and so we wanted to be prepared to help with this transition. And it's a lot, and most of it stems from staffing, obviously. But the city is this elegant machinery that works, but when one of the entities breaks down, the whole system breaks down in some ways. And so we got to get that office back up and running. And I think opening the Warren office after conversations with representatives from St. Louis City Police, as well as other stakeholders, getting that Warren office is one of has to be one of the priorities. And then staffing.
In what way specifically will your office be able to assist Gore, at least in the early stages, and how long might that continue?
In any way that Mr. Gore feels he needs. Now that he's been appointed a circuit attorney, we are standing ready to help. But at the same time, he's going to do his own analysis. He's been practicing for a number of years, has a lot of experience. And so if he asks for my advice, I'll give it. If he says, hey, these are the things that we need, as long as we can do it, that's exactly what we intend to do.
Will St. Louis County be providing any interim staff until that office can be filled?
We have staff that is ready to be deployed as soon as asked. We had, again, internally, we had already been preparing for this day because, and I'm just going to I got to be frank, public safety in St. Louis City impacts public safety in St. Louis County. Those who commit these crimes are not going to adhere to these magical borders that we've drawn up. And so it's important that we work regionally, we work together, and in any way that we can, we're ready to help. And that's not just our office. As we've seen across this region, across this state, jurisdictions are stepping up and answering the call. And I think this is how it should look.
I know St. Louis County, if they are providing staff or asked to provide staff to the city circuit attorney's office, who will be paying for the county staff?
So, and I'll use an analogy for that. And I have a little experience in Ferguson, and when things happened, there was a mutual call to aid, and jurisdictions from all over the region came and helped, and no one was asking to get paid or ask for a bill. And so I think we're in a crisis, and I think in a crisis, I think we step up and we help out our neighbors. Now, with that said, if it was something that was going to be long term, okay, that's different. I think then we have those kind of conversations. And I know the legislators in Jeff City are already put out a release to start those conversations. But in the short term, we're not looking for any. Me personally, I'm not looking for any compensation. There's a crisis in this region, and we're going to answer that call.
It seems like there's more of a willingness for there to be coordination between the city and the county, and maybe the parts outside of the county and outstate as well. Maybe more so than there has been in a long time. Is that reality, or does it just seem that way?
I think the momentum is rolling in that direction. I think we all understand as we've seen an uptick in certain particular crimes, particularly gun violence, gun crimes, as well as auto theft crimes. I think the region is starting to recognize that, the groups that are doing these types of things, the individuals that are doing these types of crimes are doing them all over this region. And they're often working in coordination. And so you got to ask yourself, why aren't we doing the same if we want to address those issues? So, we know about rings that are working in St. Charles City and County, St. Louis City and St. Louis County. And just to give you an example, And so, yeah, I think it's important that we got to work together. And I think we are seeing more we are seeing an awareness of that with our regional partners more so. So I think what you're saying is accurate.
County Prosecutor Wesley Bell is with us here on KMOX. People, as you know, want results. They want to see results. Knowing what you know about Gabe Gore, the new circuit attorney, what sort of results do you think the people of St. Louis and the state can see over the next year and a half?
Well, I think that if he taps into these resources that are available to him, such as myself and other prosecutors and other organizations around this region, I think that this can turn into. I think this will be a good story at the end of the day. I think it'll be a story that inspires this region and prioritizes the need to come together. Too much fracture. We're too fractured oftentimes in this region. And as I've always said, if that was the best model of government, other regions would be copying our model, and nobody is. And so yeah, I do think it's important that we come together. And I think Mr. Gore, from what I know of him and what I've heard of him, I think he'll do a good job. The resources are there, and I liked everything that I heard in his press conference, and I anticipate hearing from him soon.
St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell, we appreciate your time. Thank you for being with us, and we will reach out again soon.
Anytime.
That is Wesley Bell with us here on KMOX, who for a short period of time, I guess, was in charge in the city, or at least they thought he was.
They had to look into it. Yeah.
There was a note, and I don't know.
I do picture his office and Wesley Bell getting that call that Kim Gardner would be stepping down sooner than expected. And I guess you hop in the car and drive downtown.
Do you know what it's like?
Chaotic that day.
It's like when somebody's coming to pick you up and they show up 30 minutes early and you're still in the shower. You're like, I mean,
on.
okay, give me a second.
My hair's wet. Is that okay?
Can I put on clothes first? They're pounding on the door. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
maybe we'll have more cooperation, because I think, as Wesley Bell pointed out, St. Louis County, Jefferson County, St. Charles County, people want to help out.
That's right. Gin Blossom's lead singer coming up next hour, Robin Wilson. Also, we're going to talk St. Louis City soccer and a big rivalry with KC. Joey Zanaboni next hour as well on KMOX.
Air season coming upon us, and it's $89 to have us come out and make sure the best we can that you're set for summer. I cannot predict how long your furnace or air conditioner will last. If I could, I would be making this commercial from the Caribbean, and I would have billions of dollars. So I can't do that. But what I can do is we can make sure your system is clean, your filters changed. It's in the best working order. If there's a part that might be failing, we can let you know that and give you a price on that. We will not come in at $89 and try to sell you a brand new system. I do promise you that. So call me. It's really one easy number, and it is one number just for Missouri and Illinois. There's only one Bart Inman, and that is the number 314-293-2600. Again, Bart Inman, Bart with a B, Inman with an I, 314-293-2600, or bartinman.com.
I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. Over the past decade, Coalition Life has served thousands of women in crisis pregnancies, helping to save the lives of the children that they carry. Help us build a better community while also reducing or completely eliminating your Missouri taxes with a 70% tax credit. A $1,000 donation today to help these women could cost you as little as $141 out of pocket. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com. Thank you.
Do you know Charlie Emo? Charlie was famous for providing the sausage and meats on all Emo's pizzas from the beginning. Get to know Charlie Emo's Market on the Hill and get the original recipe pizza prepared and served hot, or take home a frozen Charlie Emo's pizza and bake it yourself. Come to Charlie Emo's Market on the Hill on Daggett Avenue on the Hill. We're open every day, but Sunday, 10:30 to 4 p.m. Authentic Italian food. That's Charlie Emo's Market on the Hill.
When you withdraw money from your IRA in retirement, you could trigger an avalanche of taxes. Learn how you could avoid this with your retirement professors. Saturday afternoon at 1 on St. Louis's News Radio, KMOX.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The best donuts in Missouri in 2023 can be had 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at Old Town Donuts. For more than 3 decades, get a dozen for less than $10 with a coupon from the Old Town Donuts Facebook page in Florissant and Cottleville.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns: a free home inspection from Foundation Recovery Systems. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at foundationrecoverysystems.com. License number C136080.
Charlie Brennan sees clearly thanks to Dr. Birdie and Malhotra. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Awarded 2023 Large Market Radio Station of the Year by the Missouri Broadcasters Association, KMOX.
At 12 noon right now, we've got some clouds. It's 82 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour.
KMOX is covering breaking news.
We are proud to announce that we have selected Mr. Gabe Gore as the next City of St. Louis Circuit Attorney.
Missouri Governor Mike Parson with the announcement just minutes ago on KMOX that Dowd Bennett partner Gabriel Gore will take over the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's Office. In the room asking questions for the announcement and also now outside of the courthouse, KMOX's Kevin Killeen. Kevin.
Michael, it was somewhat of a coronation where you had the leaders of the area giving their approval, their benediction, the mayor, the police chief, the federal prosecutor here, all applauding for Gabe Gore. And Gore saying that his priority is to rebuild the staff. You know, it has been gutted by departures, and that's caused some no-shows, and also to rebuild relationships. And he specifically said with the police department, the police have often said they would bring cases to Kim Gardner and just not get any traction, and she wouldn't charge many things. So maybe it's a new day in the morning between the prosecutor and the police department. Also, the business community, speaking for them, Jason Hall of Greater St. Louis, Inc., he says this is going down very well with local CEOs who are sick and tired of downtown chaos. And they hope, as he put it, that it's a new day in the morning for prosecuting in St. Louis. At the courthouse, Kevin Killeen, KMOX News.
Thank you, Kevin. The St. Louis County prosecuting attorney, Wesley Bell, reacts to the governor's pick for interim circuit attorney. He tells KMOX's The Show.
And I don't know him very well, but I know him through reputation. I know him through several acquaintances. And based on his reputation, I think they've made a good choice. I think that he'll bring a professionalism to the job.
Bell says he and his staff are at the ready to help during the transition if Gore asks for it. Bell says he wouldn't even ask for a bill for services. The 22nd Judicial Circuit in St. Louis has released a statement saying that the judges remain committed to the citizens of the St. Louis region and pledge to work with the new circuit attorney. Quote, during this time of transition, the court hopes the region comes together to offer support and assistance to the circuit attorney office's new leader with a renewed focus on public safety and fair administration of justice in the city of St. Louis. Again, that is coming in from the judges in the 22nd Judicial Circuit.
This is Stuart McMillan. Ed Dowd, the founding partner of Dowd Bennett, the high-profile law firm who employed Gabriel Gore, says Gore, quote, will make citizens of St. Louis safer and more secure, end quote. Also says he's a great lawyer, wonderful family man, and he will be a great leader for the circuit attorney's office. Jim Bennett, founding partner of that same law firm, says Gore is a natural leader.
The KMOX Business Desk, NASA announced the winner of a second lunar landing partner to develop a sustainable human landing system for the Artemis moon missions. The team is led by Blue Origin and includes Lockheed Martin, Boeing, and several others. The landing system will take astronauts from Gateway in lunar orbit to the surface of the moon and back. SpaceX is building another human landing system. Administrator Bill Nelson on the construction of this lander.
This new lander will be built and operated according to NASA's sustaining lunar lander requirements.
Dow from Stifel is down 58 points to 60 points to 33,475. We've got emergency vehicles on 270 North at Olive. The right lane is closed. Some debris to swerve around on 364 West at Bryan Road. The right lane is closed. 2-vehicle crash 55 North at Imperial, Maine. The right lane was closed.
Some showers and a thunderstorm move in this afternoon, continue into the early evening. Early high of 82, then dropping clear and much chillier than it was when we woke up this morning. We'll be in the upper 40s, low 50s. We'll stay in the cool low 70s tomorrow despite sunshine, and then it's nice and warmer up to near 80 with some sunshine on Sunday. I'm Accu with the meteorologist Dean DeVore, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
We've got 82 in Florissant, 80 in St. Peters, 82 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Sponsored by Mosby Building Arts.
Do you have a window or door that needs to be replaced? Well, now's the time to get it done. Let the experts at Mosby Building Arts handle all of your window and door projects, so you are free to grill and chill. Head over to mosbybuildingarts.com and make it happen.
The show, sponsored by the Cardinals. Cardinal tickets for 2023 are on sale now and start at just $6. Info at cardinals.com. Time to rewind the show. This is the show recap.
It has been quite a Friday. Good afternoon to all of you. Amy Marks, Kors, Chris Ranji. It's the Chris and Amy show on KMOX. Guess what we have? A new circuit attorney. It's Gabriel Gore. What did you think I was going to say?
The Gin Blossoms.
Oh, yeah, the Gin Blossoms lead singer, Robin Wilson's going to be coming up here in a moment. But
band
can
name, I just want to say it's Gin Blossoms, not Jim Blossoms.
Well, the Gin Blossoms are playing outside City Park tonight. 2 days of events outside City Park with a big game tomorrow. Anyway, Gabriel Gore is the new circuit attorney for the city of St. Louis.
I will focus on building a staff of attorneys and professionals who can work here in the circuit attorney's office and have fulfilling careers doing this important work to serve the community they live in. Secondly, I am going to really focus on building the collaborative relationships that are integral to the success of this office.
Now, okay, he sounds brilliant, and by all accounts, he's really good at what he does. Everybody knows him. Did anybody hear the smoke detector going off in the background, like the low battery? Did you hear that?
You know what? She really has decimated this office. There,
like,
no one works there.
Replace the batteries in the smoke. At least that's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's what it was.
I mean, when you really step back and think about the dysfunction of this office, it's a dumpster fire. It was, 140% turnover rate, 1/3 of the staff remaining. And it's not the same staff. It's not like 2/3 left. More than 2/3 left. It's just that the number of attorneys at the circuit attorney's office, 1/3 of what it was when she took over in 2017. And so the new St. Louis circuit attorney, Gabe Gore, his number one priority is building the staff. That's, to me, what you have to really step back and realize just how much Kim Gardner decimated this office, just how profoundly incompetent, and I would say criminally neglectful of her duty that she was. No one works there. It's not just the thousands of cases that are backlogged. It's not just the thousands of cases that were dismissed and the lack of justice. Nobody works there. You have to start from ground zero. It'd be like a new coach of the Blues, but no one's on the team. Well, the first order of business is I got to get some forwards and a defense and a goalie.
And a new battery for the smoke detector in the hallway. And Parson did say, Governor Parson spoke first and said that politics did not play a role in the decision. He did not ask what Gore's political affiliation was before offering him that job. And Gabe Gore was asked the question, when your term here is up, because he's taking over in the middle of somebody else's term, are you going to run again? He said he wasn't sure, basically, but that he would consider it. So he didn't rule it out.
Yes, and Gabe Gore, again, a partner at Dowd Bennett, the Clayton law firm, a former federal prosecutor. He was the former assistant U.S. attorney. He was an assistant special counsel for the Waco investigation, seeing if any federal agents involved in Waco. He served on the Ferguson Commission. He was initially a possible candidate for the U.S. Attorney in St. Louis. President Biden has so far left the Trump appointee at that position. And Gabe Gore came to St. Louis in 2005 when he took a position at Bryan Cave. He came from Detroit. He graduated from Missouri State University and then went to the University of Chicago, where I believe President Barack Obama was, before he was president, Barack Obama.
Now he's coming back to teach classes. Hey, if you could
Was a
take nursing
professor.
classes, you can go back to teach them while you're president.
Maybe that's where Biden was. Maybe Biden wasn't in his basement.
You think
Maybe
so?
he was taking nursing classes.
Wait, what? Okay, so we know that, I guess the hope is that something concrete, something substantial comes out of this appointment. By all accounts, he's got a resume, a good one. You just went through all of that stuff. By all accounts, he is a really intelligent guy. What does it mean for the city? How soon can we expect to see results? I would temper expectations, no matter who the circuit attorney is. It will, A, take a long time, and B, I'm not sure it's going to be a thing that's noticeable. Even if it's months, I don't think we're talking about May of next year, us walking around thinking, look at how this guy's cleaned up the city. I'm not expecting it. And it's nothing against him. I just think the job is so gargantuan.
Yes. Well, think of a hoarder. Think of the worst possible scenario you've seen on the show Hoarders. It's disgusting. There's just absolutely every corner is crammed with filth. And you don't have any cleaning supplies.
Yeah. Well,
that's where it's a backlog
what,
of
it's
cases
that.
and nobody works there. They have to build the staff first.
It's that, but it's also you have had decades of crime problems in the city before this. So there's just this foundation of issues that have existed before Kim Gardner was the attorney and will exist after the fact. So I think it's a lot to turn this around. Now, this one aspect can be controlled, and it looks like we are moving in a right direction in handling it. But I think we have to just temper expectations as to what this region's going to be because of this one appointment.
I don't know how you live with yourself if you're Kim Gardner. The more we find out about the story, her office, the incompetency, and her just flagrant arrogance in the way, this is me speaking, the way she lied time and time again about situations, about statements that were easily either disprovable or verifiable because they were court documents, or the fact that she acted like she had a, quote, smooth transition plan in place.
Yeah.
The St. Louis County Prosecutor's Office was taken completely off guard. It's astounding to me.
And Wesley Bell is that St. Louis County prosecutor. We talked with him a few moments ago.
Based on his reputation, I think they've made a good choice. I think that he'll bring a professionalism to the job. And we certainly, no matter who is put in that position, stand ready to help them. So yeah, we're excited that this part of the process is over and we can get to the business of getting that office stabilized.
And hopefully that happens. If you missed that conversation with Wesley Bell or anything that you missed, even the press conference, is available on the Odyssey app. Download it for free. Go back and catch the show live. Well, you can catch it live as it happens, but then go back and catch the podcasts if you missed anything. We want you to do that. Also, KMOX.com.
The podcast is what it sounded like live.
That's what it sounded like live.
Yeah.
You are exactly right.
That's exactly what it sounds
Guess what,
like.
baby? I love the 90s and I love the Gin Blossoms. And they are in town to perform at City Park tonight. There is a big 2 days worth of events outside City Park because a huge game is happening on Saturday. That will be against Sporting KC, those liars.
They're not the soccer capital of the world.
They are not the soccer capital of the world, liars.
Get serious.
Huge rivalry happening. Joey Zanaboni joins us at 12:30. But before that, lead singer of the Gin Blossoms, Robin Wilson, next on KMOX.
Well, if you are in the market for a luxury vehicle and you haven't yet checked out a Genesis, you are truly missing out. You're crazy. You've got to go check out a Genesis, and I highly recommend Genesis of St. Charles. Now, Genesis of St. Charles is part of the St. Charles Automotive Group, family owned and operated, one of the last remaining true family owned and operated dealerships in the region. Genesis of St. Charles is conveniently located a quarter-mile east of Mid Rivers Mall Drive, just off Highway 70. You can also visit them at genesisofstcharles.com. And it really is luxury's best kept secret. Right now, Genesis of St. Charles is located in the St. Charles Hyundai showroom in St. Peters. That's a brand new showroom. But they're so excited because they've already broken ground on a brand new building, a new Genesis building, to open in the fall of 2023. It truly is that luxury experience. Check them out online, genesisofstcharles.com. The price you see is the price you pay. And then head on over to Genesis of St. Charles in St. Peters. Drive the car, buy the car. You're going to love it. It is the epitome of luxury. genesisofstcharles.com.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to The Dave Glover Show and all the news, talk, sports, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends Mark and Neil Gelman from thegelmanteam.com. If you need to sell your home to buy a new one, it's never been more important to have an experienced negotiator that you can trust. You need my friends Mark and Neil Gelman on your side, fighting for every last dollar. Go to thegelmanteam.com.
Now, Carol's favorite moment, sponsored by Chesterfield Fence and Deck.
One loss really shaped me, but when Nan Wyatt was killed, I changed my bio a week later. My professional bio. So the first line of my bio now reads, she is first and foremost a wife and mother. That line was changed because of Nan Wyatt's death and Nan Wyatt's funeral. So that's one of my greatest memories, because it changed top five, if I have to do top five, and I do, because it changed the way that I thought of myself and the way I thought of this job.
This has been Carol's favorite moment, sponsored by Chesterfield Fence and Deck. The sign you have the very best. ChesterfieldFence.com.
As I prepare to leave KMOX after 28 years, I think about all the relationships I formed. One of those is with Tom and Sherry Thiel. They're the owners of Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Their craftsmen built our bronze aluminum fence nearly 10 years ago, still framing our backyard beautifully. And although I am retiring, you'll still hear my voice on KMOX telling you why Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the company to call to transform your backyard with a patio, deck, or pergola. I'm not going anywhere, and neither are they. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best.
We all know how important nutrition is to our health, so why don't we do something about it? With Neovitin Men's 50 Plus, you can give your body sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants to support your daily health. Formulated for men over 50, Neovitin Men's 50 Plus gives you B vitamins to support energy and our proprietary physician-formulated blend for daily support you won't find anywhere else. Do something about your health today with Neovitin Men's 50 Plus. Available at your local Schnucks and Deerbergs.
Nearly a century of informing, entertaining, and serving St. Louis. KMOX.
Amy Marks, Cords, and Chris Ranji on KMOX. It is really good to have you with us today, and it's great to be going to the guest line right now because the lead singer of that band, the Gin Blossoms, is with us now. Robin Wilson joins us on the show this afternoon. Thanks for being with us, Robin. How are you?
I'm very well. You must be Chris. Good afternoon to you. How you doing?
Thank God I am, because I wouldn't want to be this one. You know what she said to me about your band when we were off the air, like just a few minutes ago? She
so
said,
we're the greatest rock band in history, or
close.
I'm the cutest lead singer in rock. I don't know, something like
Are
that.
our mics on? This is embarrassing.
now she's embarrassed because she said both of those things, and now her boyfriend is really upset.
I hear it all the time. It's no big deal, that kind of thing. I just walk through this ocean of compliments all day, every day.
Wow.
That's my life.
I mean, it is, everyone has their cross to bear. And for you,
Yeah.
it is flattery to the point that it is a burden. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. You know, it's especially hard for my bandmates to hear
Yeah.
this kind of thing all the time, because they're just constantly having to listen to people telling me how great I am, and no one ever talks to them at all, and so they're just left sitting there in the back of the van like, like just sad dogs that were left
Yeah.
out in the rain.
Yeah. Well,
Just so pitiful.
yeah.
But you don't feel bad for him.
No.
I don't know. Part of my job as the lead singer of the band is to not care about anybody else's feelings. So I'm very well qualified for my job, and my bandmates know they can't do it without me, and they're just stuck. So
Because
what are you going to do?
You can't be the front man if you're always looking behind you.
That's right.
That is really clever. That sounds like a line from Cannonball Run 2 or something like that.
She's got a million of them, and they're usually bad.
Yeah.
I have no doubt. Well, at least she found her calling on talk radio, and the universe has decided for both of us where we should be, and we're right in that spot. So good for you, Amy. I'm glad to hear it.
Thank you.
Can we tell you, Robin, that we're not like a typical talk show? We're not stupid,
Oh, clearly. I got that.
Yeah.
Right away, moments into the conversation, I realized I was dealing with highly intelligent radio personalities, not to be trifled with. So, yes, I'm right there with you.
So you are, I guess you're on a bit of a tour here. You're going to play this show outside City Park, which is, I don't know if you've seen the stadium yet, but it's really, really nice. And the area where you'll be is really cool. And then you'll be on the road. You're coming to Kansas in June, right?
I'm going to have to take your word for it.
Okay.
I make it a point not to memorize the calendar. Mostly what time do I need to be at the airport? That's usually like when am I due to get on the next flight?
Yeah.
And, I keep the minimum amount of information in my brain at any given time. I know that I'll be performing probably about 50 more times this year. And the fact that I'm playing in Kansas doesn't surprise me at all. Sounds like
perfect.
Yeah, no.
Sounds like something we would do.
Yeah.
You're
So,
going to Wichita.
yeah.
Just so you know, you're going to Wichita.
Wichita.
Okay, actually, I do seem to remember that because my girlfriend needs me to travel to see her all the time. So from time to time, I do actually look at the calendar.
Yeah.
But it's generally related to trying to please her. And it's just the only way it relates to the band is like, what airport am I flying from or to? So, yeah.
You ever forgotten the name of the
that's my
city you're in on stage?
No, but I have forgotten the state that I was in. Once we were in South Dakota, and I said, "Hello, North Dakota." So
I mean, they're both the same.
I've done that. We've had a policy for many years to write the name of the city on the set list, so it's right there on the stage. And just on the chance that I forget where I am, I can always just look down and see it right there next to the upcoming songs. So we're pretty clever when it comes to how to tour and how to not screw up a show. So
You
we
write
do
it
all right.
down. That is, you would think more bands would have thought of that.
I bet they do.
Yeah.
No, I don't
Well,
think so.
we're in an elite class
Yeah.
of rock bands, so we know more than most.
Well, it's good that you write it down because if you play a city like Springfield, every state has a Springfield. I mean, there's no way to know.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotta. I hate that. I hate going to that. I hate playing in Springfield. It's awful. Yeah.
Which one?
All of them.
All of them. Yeah. All of them. Oh God, they're just the worst. They're the worst. Give me a Pittsburgh any day.
Because at least Pittsburgh, it owns it, right? It's an ID. You
Yeah,
know
that's
where
right.
you
That's
are
right.
with Pittsburgh.
It is. Yeah. There's no screwing around.
Yeah. No.
When you're in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You gotta take that seriously. So
How many of these, Robin, these interviews have you done? And Robin Wilson, lead singer of the Gin Blossoms, is with us. This is how you know we're brilliant. We haven't talked about music once, I don't think.
Right,
this has just been
Well,
nothing
what's the
but
point?
nonsense.
We've been talking about
There's-
calendars a lot.
It's all been said. It's all been said before. And I do lots of interviews, sure. But I'm so lucky to be slightly serious. I'm so lucky to do what I do. When I was 8 years old, I began to dream about being a rock and roll singer, and I am literally doing exactly what I dreamed about doing when I was 8 years old. I understand what a gift that is and how rare it is to grow up and accomplish your childhood dream. And so I don't take it for granted. I'm happy to do my job. I'm happy to get up and go to the airport. And, my bandmates and I, we've been through it all. And now we've come out 36 years after starting the band. We're still together. We're more of a family than we've ever been before. And everybody just does their job with the minimum amount of complaining. And we're very fortunate, very grateful, and incredibly talented. We're really, really good band. So
Yes.
we deserve it all. We
You
deserve
absolutely-
everything we've accomplished.
I totally agree with you. And what is here's what I'm curious to know, because my backstory is your song "Follow You Down." For some reason, it reminds me of this time that this girlfriend I had in college and I broke up. And so I'm not mad at it or anything because she sucked. So I got to move on from her, right? But for whatever reason, that song kind of defines that time period. What is the best?
Good.
If anybody has given you a story about one of your songs that defines something for them, what is it that you can remember?
Oh, I'm going to go with yours. The girlfriend that you hate. This is my new favorite story that relates to our music.
Good.
It's perfect. It's perfect. Honestly, we are very, like I said, we're lucky that that we do this, that we're a part of people's lives, that we're a part of the big rock and roll story. And, the reason I do this is because I was so inspired by my heroes, artists like Queen and Tom Petty and Cheap Trick and REM. And I could go on and on. And, I wanted to be like those people. And so to have written songs that people can relate to a time in their life, or we're part of the soundtrack of a certain period in time. It's incredibly gratifying, and it's the reason that we can still do this 36 years into it. It's because people have a connection to our music, and we were fortunate enough to not go down as one-hit wonders. So that's a small victory right there. Yeah.
I don't know how long you are in St. Louis, but do you plan on visiting the planetarium at all in the St. Louis Zoo? Because weren't you interested in planetary science?
Yes, I was. I was a physics major in college. I wanted to study planetary science, but then the band got signed, and I got to drop out of college and never had to go back. I do enjoy those types of outings. I love the science museums. I still read about science. I love science fiction, but no, today I'm just here to play at the soccer game. That's the whole focus of my being. I am going out to lunch with my cousin Jennifer. I've got family here in St. Louis. My whole life I've been connected to this city through my beautiful aunt Nan and my cousin Jennifer, and she's got kids now. And so whenever I come to St. Louis, I make time to see my family. And so my cousin Jenny is going to be picking me up for lunch in about 15 minutes. Excellent. And so I'll get to spend some time with her. And then usually I try to take a nap. I'm serious. I usually try to take a nap in the afternoon if on a show day. So after lunch, I'm going to come back here to this lovely hotel suite, and I'm going to put on Futurama and doze off for a few hours.
Well, we're glad to have you in town. Tell Jenny we said hi.
No,
I was going to come
I
see you.
certainly will.
I just found out you were here like yesterday. Nobody told us. So I was going to come see you tonight, but there are no more tickets left. So never mind.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, and I wish I could give them to you.
Good
but
for you,
because
though.
This is for this. It's a strange event. So I was told, like, I've got friends that I wanted to bring backstage, and I was told I'm not allowed to bring anyone backstage. And I'm like, oh, okay, well then I'll just have them added onto the meet and greet list so they can come to the meet and greet. and at least get a picture with the band. And then my manager called me back and said, nope, you are not allowed to add anybody to the meet and greet list.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the hell kind of gig is this where the singer can't bring people backstage and he's not allowed to add people to the guest list? What is going on? So I can only assume that we are being paid a fortune for these kinds of stipulations to be in place. We must have agreed to just a titanic pile of cash for this show. So I want the soccer team to know that we're very grateful. And I just built a new recording studio at home. I've got huge debt to pay off. So I'm really glad that we've got this big money gig at the soccer game.
Well, I guess good luck to you, and I guess I'll see you in Wichita.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah. Well, it'll be my pleasure to see you there. And, it should be fun tonight. Right now we're not playing too much. We're just doing like 1 or 2 shows a week. And we've got a relatively light schedule for us by choice. This year, we decided just not to play quite as much as we did last year. So I've got a few open weekends here and there, which is unusual in the summertime. So I'm looking forward to the show, and hopefully I'll be singing like a little bird.
Robin, you're awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Chris, Amy. Nice chatting with you. It's always great to be here in St. Louis. I'm looking forward to lunch with my cousin Jenny. And you guys take it easy, and I'll see you up from the stage tonight.
Yeah,
all right?
Enjoy all that cash, baby.
Oh, boatloads of
You
cash. Just roll around in it like Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, you bet. You betcha. You betcha. It's going to be great.
Thank you. That's Robin Wilson, lead singer of the Gin Blossoms, who are playing outside City Park tonight. And I do believe the tickets are gone. It was a free show.
What kind of communist?
Yeah, what kind of
event is
commies
this?
were running this where I can't go?
Well, he can't bring his own people backstage.
I know, this sucks. Who do we talk to? Probably Steve Moore.
Maybe Joey Zanaboni.
Joey Zanaboni. We'll talk city soccer. The Sporting KC rivalry is happening. Joey joins us next on KMOX.
Lombardo Homes is happy to introduce new communities, new home sites, and even a plethora of new lifestyle-friendly floor plans. Check out our new Parkside series of homes, the same luxury and livability for which Lombardo Homes is known, but with all new floor plans, to have new home sites at the streets of Calendonia, and to introduce our newest community in Wentzville, the Boulevard at Wilmer. Experience the Lombardo Homes difference, where customization is our expertise and an elevated customer experience is our goal. For more information, visit lombardohomes.com.
12:31, some clouds and 83 degrees downtown at the Arch. New St. Louis City Circuit Attorney Gabe Gore says he understands there's a lot of work to be done to restore normal function of the office, but notes he hasn't had a chance for a full evaluation.
Like I said, I learned yesterday. You're learning today, so I've got a lot of work to do, and I'm eager to have those conversations and get to work. But none of that has transpired so far.
Governor Mike Parson named Gore today to replace Kim Gardner after her sudden departure. Gore is a former assistant U.S. attorney and is a partner in the large law firm Dowd Bennett. Jason Hall of Greater St. Louis Inc. says, I've known Gabe as a friend and colleague from the beginning of my legal career at Bryan Cave. He's a proven leader and highly skilled attorney. Accountability will be restored and victims will receive justice. Former Missouri Governor Jay Nixon says Gabe Gore will be a positive and transformative circuit attorney for St. Louis. He will build a strong team to work for a safer St. Louis. Wise choice by Governor Parson. And taking a look at the roads across the region right now, we do have emergency vehicles on 270 North at Olive. It's got the right lane closed. Some debris on 364 going west at Bryan Road in the right lane. And a stalled vehicle 6440 east before McKnight. The right lane is closed. And the forecast for tonight, we'll have a low of 53 degrees. Showers and thunderstorm will move out early evening. For tomorrow, plenty of sunshine, little cooler than the average for late May, with a high of 73 and Sunday's high 79. At the moment, 83 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Brought to you by Visit Missouri. What makes for a great vacation? Depends on who you ask. No matter how you like to get away, Missouri is filled with beautiful destinations and incredible experiences for you to explore. Discover the possibilities at visitmo.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com. Broadcasting from the Underlaw Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
To understand what makes Diamonds Direct different, you have to know our history. It goes back 70 years to a renowned diamond cutter overseas. From there came years of diamond cutting, manufacturing, and wholesaling, supplying exquisite fine diamonds to top high-end jewelers. Eventually, those same wholesalers began selling direct to you, and that started a revolution. Today, we are a global diamond powerhouse with hundreds of thousands of customers and an impeccable reputation. But our core values remain the same as always. Our diamonds are the highest quality cut by the best craftsmen. Our prices are the most compelling. Our selection is staggering, and our warranties and guarantees are unbeatable. And our entire team's only goal is to help you find the diamond of your dreams. So as the story unfolds and the revolution continues, we invite you into our home to enjoy a jewelry shopping experience unlike any other. Born in craftsmanship, rooted in quality, and thriving in passion. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Online at diamondsdirect.com.
If you're thinking about selling your St. Louis area home, you might be a bit overwhelmed by the process, especially in this market. Take it from me, Debbie Monterey. I strongly recommend that you call and spend 5 minutes getting to know Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria understands that you have questions and that selling your home can be stressful. Gloria has mastered the home selling process with her Guaranteed Sold program. It simply states Gloria will sell your home at your agreed to price and time frame, or Gloria will buy it. So what's Gloria's secret? Gloria already has the buyers. Fact is, your home may already be sold. Let Gloria show you how she nets her sellers more money and how she sells faster on average. Need more proof? Check out Gloria's 5-star reviews and get moving. Call Gloria Liu today at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Find out what's happening with your Redbirds from the manager himself, Oliver Marmol. Sunday mornings at 10:15 on Sports on a Sunday morning, and Wednesday mornings at 9:50. The Ollie Marmol Show on Cardinals Radio, KMOX.
Hammered in the air cross field. Lubin gets ahead to it, pokes it to the edge of the box. Pompeu pulls it back against the defender. Ease back, top of the box. Lubin curls the shot. It's just high.
Big sports weekend in St. Louis. First of all, we're the home of the Cardinals. Did you know that?
What?
The Cardinals continue their series against the Dodgers tonight. 7:15 is the first pitch. And then Odyssey, St. Louis, is also the home of St. Louis City SC. And it is a massive rivalry, even though they never played once, against Sporting KC. And they will be in town tomorrow at City Park. It's a big event. They got the block party before the game. Tonight, there's stuff going on. We just talked to the lead singer of the Gin Blossoms, so they'll be playing there. But tomorrow's the big game. 8:30, it's going to happen, and this man will be on the call on Y98. It's Joey Zanaboni, and he's with us now on KMOX. What's up, Joey?
Hey, y'all. It's a big weekend for City. I am so excited for this weekend and to be with you right now.
Has City ever played a bigger bunch of liars than Sporting KC?
It's a legit question.
I mean, come on, listen, I'm just asking
liars.
questions.
Yeah. Just asking. We're not making accusations.
No,
we're just asking.
I'm not saying that they lied because they said, "Oh, we're the soccer capital of the U.S." Whatever. Give us a break.
Liars.
Get serious.
Well, we are America's first soccer capital,
That's
and
right.
regardless of what's said by our friends from Kansas, and perhaps that's giving some credence to your thesis here, they're often called a Missouri team, but they actually play on the Kansas side. Whatever they say.
Oh my gosh, are you serious? Oh, get
This
real.
is some breaking news for y'all right there.
Oh my gosh.
They don't even play in Missouri?
No, they don't.
Oh.
This is the Border Classico. It's Kansas versus Missouri, Kansas City versus St. Louis City. And we are representing the Missouri side. I think we're going to do it extremely
Yeah.
well. I mean, you talk about soccer history. I think we have the richer soccer history here. And most importantly for our Rams, I think we have the better team. I mean, if you look at kind of where Sporting KC has been this year, really struggled out of the gate, could not put the ball in the back of the net, played better. Give him some credit. Peter Vermees, who's been, a really good coach in the MLS for a long time, he has righted the ship to some extent, unbeaten in the last 3. But I think the key is keep them out of the back of the net early. That's how they've been able to kind of right their way over the last few. And I just think that City overall is the more talented roster this year, and I think the better group.
Well, here's what I think. I think we should take inspiration from Coach Riley. He's the bad guy in the Mighty Ducks. He coached the Hawks. But their chant was, "It's not worth winning if you can't win big." So
that's right.
I remember that.
Yeah. It's not worth winning if you can't win
That's
big.
one of those things I didn't remember until just this moment.
Yeah. I think that's how I think City should take that mentality tonight. Drive them into the ground.
Well, Coach Riley was a model for me in terms of popping his collar. I think after I saw that movie, I was about 3 years old when that came out. I was popping collars left and right.
Yeah.
Inspirational on that one. And I think it was win.
That's it, right?
Win.
Quack,
Yeah.
quack, quack.
Ducks,
So,
Ducks, whatever. Did they do Ducks?
No. The Hawks were win.
That's
win.
right.
The Ducks quack.
Quack. That's right.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Joey, this rivalry, it is kind of amusing to me that they haven't played a game yet, but there's all this, there's all this animosity, and it really, and it starts with, I think, there are two things,
It starts
right?
with the lying.
It starts with a lying,
Yeah.
lying about being the soccer capital when clearly they are not.
I know. It's disgusting.
And then they send a cease and desist letter to this poor podcast run by a bunch of St. Louis City soccer fans, just good-hearted people having a good time with their soccer team. This rivalry is really something.
It's already litigation filled, and we haven't even had an opening tap yet. I mean, it's odd. I was talking to a good friend of mine, Allie Truist Martin over there from Sporting KC, and Allie was, really, really explaining that, hey, the players and the coaches, some of them do know on the KC side, and I know the guys here on the St. Louis side, they know how much. Is animosity too strong a word? I'll say at least intensity is between these two cities. They know that something's on the line, even though, hey, by the way, it's the 5-month warning before the end of the regular season. We've got a long way to go. And in the scheme of the schedule, this might not appear on the surface to somebody on the outside as being a huge, important matchup. But to me, this is like the second season opener or the second home opener for City. It's that important to not only beat our arch rivals, but also to get off to a great start as we get into these real hot summer months when so much is decided in the MLS. City, I still think they're playing good soccer right now. The results have been a little bit on the tougher side over the last few matches, but this is a chance to completely reclaim the momentum, completely re-seize the narrative, and I think that the guys are going to respond because I think stuff like that, some of the stuff that's been popping up on social media and in the media in general, I think that has given this team a little bit of fire. They've played for this city all season long, and they know what it means to the fans who'll be with us at City Park 8:30 on Saturday.
All right. Well, we are looking forward to it, Joey. I know there's going to be a lot going on at City Park tonight. And then tomorrow, prior to the game, 8:30 is the kick, yes?
It's an 8:30 kick, obviously through the afternoon. I mean, it's going to be a festival. It's going to be a block party down there. So make sure you get on out. Gin Blossoms tonight, huge party down by City Park tonight. And it's going to be starting in the afternoon and carrying to the 8:30 kick tomorrow as this first Border Classico gets underway at 8:30.
And you'll have the call on Y98. Joey has the call on Y98.
Yeah.
We have it right there. Me, Dale. We've got Jen Cease on there. We've got some great guests. Allie Truist Martin's going to be on there with us. We've got incredible members of the St. Louis soccer community and some friends of ours from KC as well, extending the welcoming hand as they make the drive over.
Well, we just talked to Mr. Blossoms, who will be performing tonight.
His name is Robin Wilson.
Yeah. Anyway.
Robin Blossoms Wilson.
Robin Blossom. And it's Gin Blossoms, not Jim Blossoms.
Come on. You knew that. She's being a real idiot today.
Well, Joey, I was crabby. And I think
You all weren't supposed to make me laugh. Didn't they tell you weren't supposed to make me laugh?
Oh.
Yeah, we were given that directive. Like,
Yeah,
come on,
yeah.
don't say anything funny to him.
No.
My
just-
list of demands. Come on.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Well, they say no eye contact, which is easy because
Yep.
this is radio.
Yeah.
And then you're not allowed to laugh. And so
Yep.
we've heard that about you, Joey. And it's disappointing, but I respect it.
Well, boy, it's just a pleasure to be on with y'all and to have the kind of support and the kind of stuff that gets out there for City. I mean, it's pretty incredible what's happened to this town around soccer, and I think that it's going to take another step up. I really do believe that this is the next bump, the next sort of level coming here for Soccer Mania in the city to get this really cool rivalry, this really hot rivalry going against Sporting KC.
Talk to you soon, Joey. Thank you.
All right, Chris, Amy, thanks so much. And don't make me laugh on the way out. I'll talk to you later.
No, Joe, you just laughed. Dang it. You already ruined it. Oh, man. Say, I'm doing it again. Shh. Hang up on him. Hang up. Joey Zanaboni, radio voice of St. Louis City SC. He'll have the call, Y98 tomorrow. Again, the kick is at 8:30 p.m., baby. You ready for soccer? Amy?
So ready. Hey, guess what? I'm going to the game.
Are you really?
Yes.
How'd you get tickets? I don't want to hear this dumb story about how you got tickets. Never mind. I don't care.
I am going. It'll be my first MLS game.
Okay, nobody cares. Amy, Mark Scores, and Chris Ranji. It's all about me.
This is my show.
My microphone. Dave Glover show is coming up at 1. Amy and I still have a little bit more with you next on KMOX.
How's your mental health? I'm listening with Dan Reynolds from Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, I don't think there's an age that's too early because really, if you take away the word therapy, what's happening is, hey, let's communicate with other people. Let's communicate what you're feeling. It's just communication skills. So it's like basically you're just saying, hey, there might be some conversation that you can have with X person that's going to help you. And because it helps you to evolve as a human.
Explore more at imlistening.org.
Sponsored by Compass Health Network. Now hiring.
It's not too late for a deep spring cleaning on your home. Give my friends at Zero Res a call, 314-474-2020. Schedule today. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129 and take $75 off your air duct cleaning. Make sure you mention me, Dave Glover, at ZeroResSTL.com. Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at ThrottleNet. So I'm so very proud to have represented the guys at ThrottleNet for all of these years. They are the IT geniuses. George and Mike are the owners. Fantastic guys. They can do all of your IT. They can do a portion of your IT. They have the best Apple support team. Their response time is under 2 minutes. Think about that, under 2 minutes. Something goes sideways with your IT, and they are solving your problem. And they're solving your problem within 2 minutes. Now, let's talk about cybersecurity. Most companies in St. Louis don't have cyber liability insurance. You get hit, you're on the hook, you're probably out of business. With ThrottleNet, if we represent you, we protect you. The first $500,000 that someone hits you for, which isn't going to happen, but if it does, we pay it. $500,000. That's what you're covered for with ThrottleNet. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS for all the information.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. May is National Bike Month, so use your bike instead of your car or for a little bit of exercise. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Hi, this is Kevin Wheeler, and I see clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Malhotra, and you can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Is your bank, brokerage, or your insurance company telling you to buy an annuity? They may have limited access to the best rates available. You need solutions, not someone pitching you a specific product. Call for your complimentary retirement and income book at 844-513-SAFE. That's 844-513-7233. And also join me, Ben Coons, for the Retirement and Income Radio Show, heard here every Saturday at 3 p.m. on KMOX Radio.
Men suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, regardless of age or past medical history, you'll see instant results on your first visit at Paramount Men's Medical Center. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free. Call now 314-720-8081.
Furnish hope right here in St. Louis. Donate your unneeded furniture and household goods to Home Sweet Home. Visit www.homesweethomestl.org to learn more. Amy Mark scores.
This is my show, my microphone.
On the show.
What an eventful day today here on
Wow.
the Chris and Amy show.
A
or
real
whatever we call
roller
it.
coaster.
Yeah, it is a roller coaster.
I mean, I have felt mainly down, but
What's the matter with you? We have a new circuit
Joking.
attorney.
this is very this has been very, very exciting.
Gabriel Gore is the new circuit attorney for
Yeah.
the city of St. Louis. That was announced by Governor Parson 11
11.
o'clock. 11 o'clock
I
today. We
actually
had it
think,
for you.
I think they started at 10:59.
They did start like 30 seconds
I
early.
know.
Well done. I'd rather
Excellent.
have 30 seconds early than 15 minutes late, which
When
happens in
you-
press conferences sometimes.
When you are invited to a party, which happens a lot, and you actually show up, which does not happen very often at all, do you show up on time, early, or late?
Oh, come on. What do you think?
So late. You've never once been on time for when we get coffee. You're never on time
That's-
for the show.
Do you know why? There is no on time for the show is 10 o'clock. That's on time.
Technically 10:03 because we have news.
That's right. So when we
Yeah.
do our coffee stuff, which we don't do it.
We
I
don't do
don't have
anymore.
to do it anymore.
Okay, we used to be friends, and we used to get together for coffee. And the way it would work is I would invite Ranj to get coffee, and 25% of the time it would work out. Because usually he would say, "Oh yeah, I don't know, I can't pick a date," and then pick a date, and then flake out, not commit, whatever it is. But I would say 1 out of 4 times when we scheduled, he actually showed up.
That's not true.
It is true.
I didn't just leave you hanging.
And he was always significantly late.
5 minutes.
No.
5 minutes.
7 minutes late, you would text and say,
No.
I just left.
That's not true.
It is true.
That's not true. That's
but
not
I'm
true at
still
all.
his friend. But now we don't get coffee anymore because we're,
I see you every day. What's the point?
That's right.
I talk to you every day. What's the point?
Sometimes I like to look back at life and I think,
And how simple it was.
no, just I think it's funny that you ended up working with me. I think it's hilarious
Why is that funny?
because you don't find it odd at all.
That we work together?
Yeah.
No.
It's so weird.
Like how things happen?
Yeah.
Because I met you way before we were doing all
yeah.
this.
And we were friends and we always joke about how like, oh, we have to get together and we always would argue and text like political stuff. And then suddenly we're working together every single day.
It's
I
a
find
lot.
it hilarious.
It is. You know what? You're right. When you look at it that way, because I've never gone into a show like that.
No, and here's the thing. No, because we're friends, and what I feel like is this is our friendship. It's
Just everybody gets to hear it. now.
everybody gets to hear it.
Yep.
I also think this is funny because I'm not trying to make people mad. And I think some people will be mad at this and some people will find it hilarious. But if 5 years ago, I said, "Hey, Ranj, guess what?
What?
You and I are going to be working together on the same show in Rush Limbaugh's old spot." You would have died.
Well, for him? No.
I'm not trying to
don't
make
think
anybody
so.
mad. I just think it's funny.
No, why would anybody be mad about that?
I don't know. Maybe they're like,
This is
"Ah."
clearly an improvement over that.
Yeah.
This show
It's
is
less
clearly
angry.
an improvement.
It's less angry than that
Much
show.
less angry.
Yeah.
I mean, you were grouchy earlier today.
Man, I was kind of channeling Krabby Rush.
I don't know what your deal was.
What was it?
You just hated everything.
But then we talked to Jim Blossoms, and I
We
thought he
talked
was
to-
delightful.
We talked to the lead singer.
Yeah.
His name is Robin Wilson.
Here's what it is. We talked about this earlier this morning. I think people get it. It's Friday. The news can be kind of heavy.
Yeah.
And we talked about some of the challenges facing our city, injustices. We talked about the victims of the circuit attorney's office and crime in this city and politics and the presidential race and all of the
Sometimes it's a
drama.
lot.
It's a lot.
It's just
But
I get how you feel, and I think most people listening feel that way often.
Yes.
Where it's just, and especially the last 5 to 10 years, it's gotten even worse.
Yeah. Just uglier, a little bit cooler.
There just have to be days where anybody listening to this show right now just wakes up and glances at what's going on and says, oh, come on, I don't have time for this. I don't want to do it today.
Yeah.
I just don't. And I get that way.
Mm-hmm.
I get that way every so often, probably once a week.
Yeah.
I think about it waking up, coming in here, and then I realize, no, I get to work with Amy today. This is going to be a great day.
Oh, that's not what you think.
That's great. Anything you missed on the show, it's on the Odyssey app,
Mhm.
AUDACY. It's free. That includes our conversation with Hancock and Kelly. Michael Kelly was awesome today. Hancock's always awesome.
If you missed it, you really need to go back and listen to that hour. Michael Kelly was spot on, and he was so eloquent and so passionate.
As a Democrat in this city, about how even his own party is operating, he's got issues with it. And he was very honest today. Meanwhile, John Hancock totally dishonest about being an Eagle Scout.
Yeah. How?
He can't start a fire to save his life.
He won a survival badge. He earned his survival badge, he said, by grilling the hamburger he was given and the green pepper on a grill at a camp.
I mean,
that's just a picnic.
I survived out in the wilderness. Oh, really? Would you hunt squirrels? No, I brought burgers with me.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a picnic.
And a lighter.
Yeah. Hey,
So-
I also want to tell people, though, there's no excuse for them to miss our show because you
right.
can stream it on the Odyssey app. You can listen to it on the podcast. And because there's no excuse, if you don't listen to us, we will show up at
to
your
place of business.
That's right.
A couple of shift disturbers
We're
here
going to disturb your shift.
at work. That's going to happen soon.
Well, yeah, and we're not going to tell you. We're
just going to show up.
Show up with our microphones. We're going to show up with our microphones and a folding table, most likely.
You know, we are streaming on Facebook and YouTube. You can watch us every day if you want to. James says he loves saucy Amy. Well, James, I do not. Text
Thanks,
messages.
James.
314-436-7900. We have two of them. One is giving me a website for me to go look at. Something about.
Don't click.
I'm not going to tell you exactly what the web address is, what the URL is, but it's like blah blah blah.com/Obama committed treason.
I thought it was going to be.
That sounds legit.
That sounds incredible. I thought it was going to be something about ladies.
And then the other one, if from a 314, no more awes, and I think that means
Not like, oh.
No, I don't think it's that.
Oh. Oops.
Oh, a texter says they work from home and they will make burgers. So I guess we could go disturb their shift.
And earn a survival badge.
Oh, how about this? From a 217. People that are usually late are rude and inconsiderate.
Yes.
I don't know you, bud, but that is what people say about you behind your back.
Did you say bud?
Yeah. How can people say that behind my back?
I don't know
How
you,
does this
bud.
person know if they don't know me? They don't know what people are saying behind my back. That is a wild accusation. This is not Accusation Friday. This is Fun Friday. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you Monday at 10. Get the podcast on the Odyssey app and KMOX.com. Good day, sir.
Good day!
Thank you. I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. Over the past decade, Coalition Life has served thousands of women in crisis pregnancies, helping to save the lives of the children